Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Matt.
Welcome back.
Today, we have a very special episode of Game Overcast.
Today, it's all about Bowsette.
And Gachapon games. And why they are the most worthless... Oh, wait.
Hey.
Sorry. Fine. Roll the... Just intro. It's fine.
Do, do, do.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Game Overcast, episode 39. I am your host, Matt. We have Brit and some new faces tonight.
Yes,
I found them out
we have
back.
guests. We found them outside.
Why don't you introduce yourselves with your one microphone, because we only have three.
Hello, my name is Aaron. I'm one of their friends. How are y'all doing today?
He's not really. I mean, yeah.
No. I'm just the hobo outside.
I just noticed we do have the Beanie Brigade on our right here. This
Oh
is
my
interesting.
God, we really do. Yes.
We got to represent. Come on now.
Okay, so funny story, listeners of the podcast. You know that Matt and I have mentioned a friend who puts lots of money into games. This is him. This is the culprit.
And what is his name?
His name is Andy.
Oh, does he speak?
So now when we say Andy, you know who we're talking about. So yeah.
Does Andy speak?
I'm his interpreter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to say any words?
I usually have people speak for me.
It's going to be great for an audio broadcast.
I know, right?
Just try to imagine the face he's making right now.
I speak through facial cues.
Good Lord. But we get right into this. We have a show tonight, a possibly long show because there's four of us. And as always, it's going to be under an hour this time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that never
no,
works
no,
out. We
not at
always
all.
say that, and it never works out.
No.
Truly.
Last time we got it into under 55 minutes because we rushed
Was it?
Yes.
Did we? It didn't even
Wait,
feel
no.
like
No. It was the one where we lost
No.
power and we wanted to get out here before we died.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Because Michael Myers is coming down the stairs.
I can sort of see why you guys never get in under an hour.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this is actually a tangent cast.
Yes.
You have
Oh,
no
yes.
idea.
So we always
Just wait.
talk about a lot of movies,
Yeah, it gets
and then,
rough.
right before we get to the video games and pretty much everything else under the sun.
We actually talk about video
Before
games for about
video
10
games.
minutes.
Yes.
Sounds
Over
about right.
About 2 hours. At some point we're going to mention robots.
I
and
don't
I'll just
even
be
know how
off.
we do it. We just go. We turn it on and we're like, okay,
I have
go.
an outline, just like the occasion when
Yeah.
we go off, and by the time we're like at Wizard of Oz, it's like, wait a minute, video games,
Okay,
please.
Back on track.
Okay, now playing. So for those of you that are new to the show, essentially, this is really tough.
Ooh, can I say something real fast though?
Never mind. This is more important. Go
I'm
ahead.
so
Britt.
sorry. Okay, so I just wanted to say, as you realize, thank you for bearing with us because we've started doing 2 shows, but November and December was really, really crazy for Matt and I, so we actually only did 1. But we will get back on track with doing 2.
I actually had that
So-
in my notes for
Oh yeah, sorry.
after now
I beat
playing.
him to it.
But
so it's
this is
okay.
true, yes. We were doing 2 shows a month, and for November and December months, we didn't because it was holidays and we have jobs, and
It was crazy.
I like to sleep. So in lieu of doing 2 shows, I slept. I'm sorry. But we'll try to get back into it for January moving
Yes,
forward.
definitely, because it's super fun.
Hooray.
And we haven't forgotten about you, Metroid.
Any other announcements?
Nope, I think that's it.
Are you sure? Okay, cool.
On another... No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
So now playing.
Yes.
This is tough, guys. You just pretty much have to say what you're playing right now
And what it means to you.
on an emotional,
Elaborate.
spiritual level.
I'm kidding.
I'll,
Video game wise, what I'm now playing.
Yes.
Oh,
I'll start because I don't know. I'm the host. So Smash. A lot of Smash.
Yes.
Surprise.
A lot.
So people that listen to the show know that I've been Smash clean since Ryu DLC dropped on Smash 4.
No longer.
No.
He's been kicking your butts.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad.
The sickness is back with Matt. It's
That's
rough.
all we've been playing, honestly.
Yeah, that is all we've been playing.
And I'll probably play it some more tonight. I don't care. I do, however, have taken some time to play Earth Defense Force 5, which is
yes.
released, which I think you guys have both played a little bit of now, right?
Yes,
EDF?
I played a little bit, and it's honestly really
Amazing.
awesome, surprisingly, even though I've never heard of it before.
I've not played it at
I
all.
love just
Oh my God,
indoctrinating
you're
people into
missing out.
EDF.
Okay,
You
so...
can use a pile bunker.
Yes,
Like,
you
it's
need
a man's dream right there.
I've been sleeping. Sorry.
Yeah, Earth Defense Force we've talked about before on the show. The 5th
many
version,
times.
unfortunately, didn't get a physical release in this country because they decided to self-publish and not have to go through anybody else. So we bought it digitally, even though digital games kind of suck, which we'll talk about later. But if you haven't played EDF, think of the cheesiest alien invasion movie ever, and you're playing it from third person with different classes and dozens of weapons and giant robots and huge insects.
It's like we've mentioned it many times before. It's like playing Starship Troopers.
The best, worst
It's
voice acting ever.
Stunning.
And they made it worse in this game, but or like better worse. It was like, they ate Greg! They ate him! It's so good.
EDF.
Yeah,
It's my favorite.
it's glorious. So that's me.
Yeah.
How about you, kid?
Okay, so of course I've been playing Smash with these guys too. Aside from Smash, I really feel like I've been switching between Deathmark and that was on the last show.
Deathmark.
Deathmark.
Yeah. Okay, not Death.
No.
Okay, cool.
Deathmark. I mentioned it on the last show.
That's an interesting game. It's this man who can't hear going around chalking up the walls.
No.
Everywhere.
And Katamari.
This is the
because
one
it's
about where
Katamari.
you're trapped in the high school. Or not trapped in the high school, but you're investigating in the school and you're going to die in 7 days. And this is Deathmark,
I think
right?
that's the plot to The Ring. No, I'm kidding.
I think so too. Well, isn't it very similar? Like you have
Yeah.
a mark and you're going to die
No,
in like a
it
week?
is really similar.
I thought that was The World Ends With You.
It's like standard, it's like standard Japanese horror.
Right? Yeah, no, I'm not
There's
going to
probably
get
an evil girl.
too far into
Somewhere.
it because the last podcast it was on my list of games.
That's right.
The best games of 2018. But it's a visual novel. It's super awesome. It's a horror visual novel. Yeah, you wake up with a mark. Those people that have the mark, they start to lose their memories and then they die. So you have to figure out. You have to investigate and figure out how to beat this curse.
So essentially,
and not die.
this mark gives people Alzheimer's.
Pretty much.
That's really mean.
Isn't it?
That's a cruel game.
Evil ghost.
But with like tentacles and stuff. Because it's.
But yeah, and
you know.
then you're in. It's a mystery, so you're finding out what's going on, and you have to solve it, and it's really good. It's actually really, really good. I highly recommend it.
I've seen you playing it, and it's kind of the
It's so good.
what was the corpse party kind of mentality?
Yes,
where you'll be
very
doing really well.
similar.
I'll just hear bleep bleep kind of thing, and
Yeah, kind of. Kind of. Because there's this
Glorious.
ghost that's really hard. Okay, that's it. And then Katamari, of course. Because
course.
Katamari is amazing.
Katamari reroll. I'm assuming.
Yes. And
Yeah.
and we bought the soundtrack on vinyl, and it is stunning. I mean, every time I put it in, I just want to cry.
I feel really bad.
So good.
Like every Game Over got that, and it was gone in like a day or two.
Yeah, I believe it because that soundtrack is so good.
It's pretty good.
So good.
It's weird, but it's good.
But yeah, that's pretty much. And then of course Smash. But I
Yeah.
said that. But
You
that's
guys play
pretty much it.
Katamari, right?
Katamari.
some
Yes,
point?
I played Katamari. The music is very hypnotizing.
It's so
Extremely.
good.
I'm
I
familiar
love it.
with it. I haven't played it myself.
Oh,
no.
it's so good.
Oh, you
So
need
much
It's
to.
so weird.
You need to. It's so good.
It's one of those games that came out back in, what was it, early 2000s, I think?
Yeah, because it
Yes.
came out for the PS2.
Yeah, and it just had me kind of scratching my head, like, it's good, but what?
You know, it's funny because I actually remember we played it together.
Yeah.
So I brought it home and I was like, hey, come over, let's play this.
Mm.
And we popped it in and we saw the intro and we were like, what the heck is going on here? And then it was love at first sight. We played we were like, this sounds really dumb. And we played it and it was amazing. Best game ever.
It's really dumb.
It's
but
still one of my
amazing.
favorites. It's so, it's entrancing.
Glorious.
It's addicting.
Mr. Andrew.
I don't know if I've been playing anything aside from Super Smash Brothers, honestly.
I know you've been playing
Not your
that.
fate.
You played,
I can fix that for him.
Oh, what else have I played?
well, you've been playing this one wonderful game that I specifically didn't talk about because I made you play it this evening.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm going to be forced to play later this evening.
Oh, and we're gonna spoil it now for Aaron because I'm gonna make him play it tonight, and it was supposed to be a surprise. But so just
It's so good.
it's called what? Just Shapes and Beats.
just shapes and beats. Yeah,
Yes.
it's more or less like if you've played like Child of Eden or even Amplitude. It's a bullet hell music game with trippy visuals.
That sounds amazing.
Lots of bright colors, great music from Monster Cat.
Yes. Fantastic music.
It's also really hard because you can't shoot back. You just have to live.
Yep. You got one move and it's dodge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Scream.
But it's super, super good. And it's so pretty. The colors
Actually,
are so
I,
pretty.
as player 2, had the give up button. I could drop out of the game.
The
We
sack
found
boy,
that
like-
out.
What?
Yeah. And it was like, Andy, where'd you go? He was like, I'm done.
Yep.
Go get a Coke.
I
I'm
just
leaving.
can't do this anymore.
I had to honestly, I should have gone and gotten a drink. I think I was a little bit sick from that.
Lots of pinks and yeah, definitely seizure warning. Like wow, like strobe lights and bright colors and
Yeah.
no, but it's 4-player
really good.
co-op
Yeah.
just to add to the chaos. So
my
yeah, it's
God.
a lot of fun. Though.
It's a good time.
and like $20, so totally worth picking up easily.
Absolutely.
But sorry, Andy, but yeah, you've been playing that too.
And then Diablo 3.
Yes,
Yay.
That was it.
Switch version,
Yeah.
so good.
Amazing.
I guess the big things that I've been playing, I'm super late on this, and it's Undertale.
Yes.
Like 4 years late, I think. Came out in 2015.
It's all right. I still haven't played it
so
yet.
good.
You still haven't played it?
No.
Okay.
I torture him with the music though.
Oh, I learned it's very good, but
is.
it will probably grate his ears, to be honest, knowing him. Like if it went on forever.
Like the music's good. I don't actually like the art design of the game too much.
Yeah.
Like I haven't mentioned it much because it's going to make a lot of people mad. But it's like
I don't know.
Well, to be fair, like the way like it is good pixel art, but like if you want to see really good pixel art, you'd be like looking at like Dead Cells or stuff like that. That's very good animation.
I actually like it. I think it looks great.
it looks too
Oh, right, I
Earthbound
played
to me.
Dead Cells recently too.
And,
Oh, you did
and
play Dead
everyone
Cells?
knows how
And
much
that
I like
was,
Earthbound.
Yeah, we've talked about it on
I
previous
really
podcasts.
don't. In case you guys didn't know,
what,
like
though?
I hate
I
Earthbound.
think we should try it because I
I'm
actually
familiar
think you'd
with
like it.
your hatred of it. Yeah.
You hate Earthbound?
Isn't he
Like
crazy?
I've said
He's
this before, but
crazy.
I can respect what it did and what it is. I just personally can't stand it. I've tried playing it a number of times, but like, nope, out of here, can't do it.
Okay, I
We're
can
saving the one
understand
with a
that.
baseball bat. Nope.
So I've been playing Undertale, and my friend told me the proper way to do it. So of course I went the passive route the first time. I still haven't killed everybody off. It was very interesting, and it was very like everyone says it's just a good game, very good story overall. And then I guess the other thing that I've been playing was Spyro, the remake of Spyro, which hits me really home in the heart because it's just my childhood right there. I grew up playing everything from the NES all the way up to PlayStation, but PlayStation was like when 3D came out, and Spyro was like one of the first things besides Ape Escape. I can guarantee you, it's just so good.
And
They
it
redid
is-
it very well, except for the third one. Everyone, I'm sorry, some people may like it. I don't like Sheila's new model design at all. And what's his name? The cheetah. I can't believe I forgot his name already. His voice acting is different, but I mean I can understand that, but it doesn't fit him very well.
I did like how all the other dragons you find actually have their own like unique looks now, and they aren't just like generic green dragon, generic blue
They
dragon.
did so good with that, amazingly well.
I actually heard that it was kind of a challenge for them
Because
to
they
do
lost most
Spyro.
of the game. Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
so they
they-
had to build it from the ground up, basically.
Yes, they had to replay through it on a PS1 and look at where all the pixels and polygons on and redo it. I think it wasn't. I don't know if it was for all 3 of the games, but I think it was for the first one that they had to do on the remake.
Yeah,
That
they
is
actually had to
love
make
right
a,
there.
they made a bot to run through it on an emulator just to record everything, and then they had to like draw in all the backgrounds and all the assets and everything. Like that was a labor of love, so you can
Yeah,
appreciate that a
definitely.
lot.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely better than that really god awful Crash remake.
Which game?
The Crash.
He's a troll because
Yeah.
we talk about. I feel like there are a few games we mention almost every podcast. One of them is Milan Secret Castle.
Yep.
Haha! I
There you
finally
go.
mentioned it again. And then we talk about Crash a lot. We happen to mention
Just
it a
because you
lot,
like
so.
it, and I
love
don't
it
dislike
so much.
it. I
That
just
was
like
my
tormenting her.
childhood.
Crash
I played that
Bandicoot?
so much. Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that Crash, Medieval, and Busta Groove.
Did you play?
like, all the way?
Did you play the Crash racing game?
I did not play the Crash.
Oh, I grew up playing that for some odd reason, and it wasn't actually that bad. But the party game, I think, was probably better.
Yeah.
I thought the original Crash was a decent competitor for Mario Kart, just for what it was. And then, I mean, they're remaking it now too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You didn't hear about that? Yeah, they're making another Crash racing game now.
Oh wow.
I think it's the same thing they did with the Crash trilogy remake. I could be mistaken, but that's what it looked like to me.
I'm definitely
You know,
gonna
obvious
try
Crash, so it's like, whatever.
it. I'll get it.
But phenomenal, well done. Wow, we actually got that through amazingly fast because there's 4 of us.
I'm impressed.
So news, we can just kind of burn through this. I know last show we talked about Bethesda and how they can't do anything right anymore. Briefly to mention, I know this is kind of late now, but it happened after the last podcast. So now they're giving away people's personal information. You guys have both heard about that?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh goodness
With
gracious.
the tickets, because they actually
Yeah.
decided to give people real canvas bags. Because they originally gave them the nylon bags. Like, go ahead and email us a support ticket, and we'll get you a canvas bag. Well, they messed up and started sending everyone's support tickets with their credit card information and their personal information, their addresses, to one guy. And he posted on Reddit like, "Hey, just so you guys know, you're sending everyone's stuff to me. Thank God he was
I
a
thought
nice
it was
guy."
numerous
Yeah, exactly.
people
Well,
that could see other people's
I just remember the one guy
information.
doing it, but that would be so horrible.
Because I heard it was it happened to numerous people.
Oh,
like if
my
you opened a ticket, you were
could see everybody else's
Yeah,
ticket.
you could see everybody else's
It ain't good.
ticket.
It ain't good at all.
Which is crazy, but honestly, it does suck. It's unfortunate, but accidents happen.
But that's a lot of
I
accidents.
I would be upset. I would definitely be upset because I'm kind of, that I'm a little bit psycho when it comes to that stuff. I actually pay for an identity theft protection service. I really do. So that kind of stuff freaks me out. But I do understand that sometimes, in the world, the age that we live in, it's impossible
and I really think if it was just this, or if it was just the bag, or if it was just the game being a piece of crap, I think it would be one thing. It's a lot of
a tumble.
a lot of issues all at once for poor Bethesda.
Did they even do anything to compensate the people who lost their they give out their identity? Did they be like, oh yeah, well we'll give you some in-game cash or anything? They did nothing.
They gave people $5 of in-game cash who didn't like the bag.
That was the bag. So that means that that whoever's working the PR just did a bad idea, because you just ruined everyone's identity information, and now we're not going to compensate you anything for that.
Sorry.
Just I don't even think did they even make a formal message that said I'm sorry?
I think they eventually did, yeah. Whereas they went on Reddit and did a big we kind of screwed up. Sorry about that. But it's just
honestly,
one thing after another with them
I really
now.
feel like that's all, sometimes shenanigans happen, and I feel like that's all anybody wanted, and that's really fine. If I was somebody who bought the collector's edition, I would have totally been okay if they were like, hey everyone, we just want to let you know, I know that we advertised a canvas bag, but it's more expensive than we thought, so we're going to replace it with these nylon bags. Sorry about that. Here's the $5 in credit or whatever. I would have been like, cool, I totally understand. It's hard to run a company. It's hard to do
Video
things.
games is hard.
Yeah. I mean, it can be. It's just like any other business. You know what I mean? So it can be challenging. So I think if companies, we talked about this last time too, are just honest with their consumers, I think the consumer is more forgiving than I think businesses are afraid. And I think the consumer is more forgiving than they believe.
I'll take that.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I agree.
for just a second here, have you guys all seen the Sonic the Hedgehog movie poster?
Wait, that's a thing?
Oh, it is a thing.
Oh no.
Okay, so that was real.
Okay.
Is that real?
Yeah, the one you've seen
you
with
sure
that
that's real?
with the silhouette.
It was the silhouette.
Not the whole. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's real for real. It's
For
not a
realsies
joke.
real.
It's for real.
This is
It's
not
not,
a
hey, this is
joke.
the Legend of Zelda movie.
No, it's real. Have you not seen this, Aaron?
Oh my gosh. I mean, if they did something similar to the Sonic Adventure 2 storyline
feel like we
or
talked
Sonic
about this on
Adventure
the last
storyline.
episode.
It's just the picture right now. All it is, but yeah, this is the poster.
We did talk
and
about
I'll
this.
post it up in the video if you want to
That's
see it. But
not a joke.
So-
Yeah, that was memed for the longest time, and
Yeah.
it's not a joke.
No,
And I
that's real.
believe it.
yeah,
Didn't we mention this the last show?
I don't think we did.
I think we did.
Well, either way, we mentioned it again because it's freaking terrifying.
Yes.
He's
And I
got
was still
man
kind of like,
legs, and it bothers me a lot. Have we talked
I
about?
feel like they could make it work.
Yeah,
It'll
but
just be weird.
The eyes.
How would they
Think-
make it work? Sega sort of I don't know, hit and miss on this stuff.
Of course, it would definitely have to be a complete
Well,
redesign.
think of Sonic's eyes for a second, okay? Sonic
Eye.
has a mono
His
eye
eye.
with a
One
brow.
eye.
His eye, Matt.
So you either make it horrifying like that, or you give him strange,
Just like-
beady eyes. It's really scaring me. I've had nightmares of this weird, glutinous Sonic the Hedgehog, wobbling after me.
So you
at
mean
Sonic speed.
Sonic.exe, basically?
Yeah, it ain't good. Exactly. It ain't good, man. It ain't good at all. Have
Sonic
you seen what they're talking
creepypasta.
about?
But
Sonic
this is what
creepypasta.
this is what artists are paid for. The vision, it will happen. I think it could.
They should just make it a horror movie.
So
and just-
Sonic
they'll be fine.
Hellraiser, pretty much. We have such sights to show you.
I mean, of course, it's going to be different.
We actually have a camera person
It'll
this time,
work.
and she's in the background, apparently just seeing the picture, I'm guessing. And it ain't
looked
good,
it up.
kids. It ain't good. And I'm kind of scared to see the rest of it now, really. Because, the eyes are going to be everything. Because he's going to have, the evil cyclopean eyes or little beady death eyes. Yeah, it ain't going to be good.
Beady death eyes.
It's not
This
gonna
is going to be awful.
Yes.
God. You just peel it off his face and throw it. It's like 2 eggs or something.
It could be like a goggles thing. You could be wearing goggles.
He always has to wear goggles.
Yes.
Takes them off. There's just
takes
this
them off
void
and it's
of
just
death.
It just,
Just 2 little tiny things.
oh my god.
So,
That'd be fantastic.
I mean, it might still be a good movie, but I'm kind of hesitant to maybe think that. Let's see. But,
Hey, you never
can't,
know.
You can't knock it till you try it. But to
Exactly.
be fair, if we're looking at chances, it's probably not going to be super amazing.
Yep.
I
Going
mean, to
into
be
it
fair,
concerned.
and we've had a show about movies that were based on video games.
Yes, we have.
It's not the best reputation.
Usually not good.
But there have been some good ones. Remember, Corpse Party was really good.
Yes.
We actually really like that one. So
Because it was exactly what it was trying to be, which is
Yeah.
a hyper gory, cheesy Asian horror movie.
yeah, and it was awesome. So
Lots of heads popping.
you never know. Ooh, Detective Pikachu though. We're all gonna have to
Ryan
have
Reynolds.
Yes.
No, Ryan
I mean,
Reynolds. No.
it took a long time for me to get used to Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu, or Pikachu having a Ryan Reynolds type voice, but I warmed up to the idea, and I'm
now you
good.
can never unsee it.
Exactly.
No.
Like there's a
I'm
Pikachu
definitely
shirt
gonna
right
try it,
there, and I
though.
can hear Ryan Reynolds going, "Oh."
So I've never heard of Detective Pikachu because I really didn't look at the game, and then whenever someone first told me about it, I couldn't decide whether it was just Detective Pikachu like some kind of CG with just of his voice, or him in a Yelpa
Ryan
costume.
Reynolds in, like a fursuit, like dancing along.
I mean, I might pay to see that because that'd just be funny.
I mean, it could be like Roger Rabbit, because when they were filming Roger Rabbit, the actor for Roger Rabbit had a Roger Rabbit suit and was like walking around the set.
and they just
with
put
it.
him in?
Yeah.
oh my
Just to get people into the character, even though he
Yeah.
just kind of like terrified Bob Hoskins.
My God, I bet that would be horrifying, but amazing. I actually like the idea of these like realistic looking Pokemon. I mean, I know it's CG, but
Terrifying.
it's cool. I'm gonna give it a shot.
I think the Mr. Mime looks terrifying.
Yep.
Mr. Mind,
Kind of
yes,
horrifying.
and style looks
It's
terrifying.
just creepy.
I'm gonna check it out.
But now that we've started talking about it, it reminds me of that picture of the Deadpool inside the Pikachu costume.
Yes.
That's
Be
cute.
great.
Have you seen that picture?
Yes, I have. Fantastic.
Cute.
So terrible.
Cute.
Okay, so something I want to comment. We got an email from Brett right before
Thank
we
you,
recorded
Brett.
today, talking about digital games
You're awesome.
and how he's not a big fan of them, and I'm inclined to agree. But what's y'all's thought on the digital movement, just real quick?
I believe that it's a necessary evil because it's going to eventually happen. But I grew up with hardware. I have to have hardware. I always buy hardware whenever I can, just because I have something tangible that I did buy this game. And if that system gets destroyed somehow, I still have at least the card that says, "Look, I bought this game. This is memories."
And you know what's really funny? I was reading an article about this earlier, and it expresses exactly what I believe. I think there will always be a market for physical. I think there will always be collectors. I do not think physical media is going to go away.
It is shrinking, though. I think we can agree.
I think it will shrink, of course, because it's just the times, but I don't think it will ever go away completely. I think there's always and I think there's gonna be, you know how there's been a renaissance for vinyl and a renaissance for cassette tapes. I think that will happen in the future as well. Even if that stuff does shrink even more, there will be a renaissance of physical media. I mean, I love it. I think it's weird. I mean, obviously we have to buy games sometimes that if they're indie games
Like EDF.
and like EDF,
Yeah.
and they couldn't release a physical, so they released it digitally. We bought it, of course, because we like to support indies, and we like to support, artists. But I don't know. It's weird to buy something and not have it. You know what I mean?
I get that.
It's just weird.
I honestly disagree because eventually we'll all have like VR and everything will just be uploaded to you. So at some point, hardware will die, no
I
matter
think that
what.
will be a
It'll be-
long time.
There's always
It'll
going to
be
be
a long
there's
time.
always going to be a collector thing
And there's
for it.
always-
There'll be a
even-
collector's
will
thing, but
always be a market.
there'll always be like an aftermarket for like stuff
That's
like
what I
that.
mean, yeah.
But okay, I thought you were talking
That's-
about
I
like
think
a
that's what you're
market
talking about.
period.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There will
Aftermarket,
always
sure.
be a demand for physical
Yes,
stuff, even if they quit
course.
producing it.
Yes.
Like the retro is always going to be a thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I think
100%
it's always going to be made. I mean, a great example is gosh, we love them. We buy games from them all the time. They release the
you talking
games.
about Limited Run?
Limited Run.
Yeah.
A perfect example is Limited Run games. I mean, we have purchased so much from Limited Run. They were at CGF last year, and every time they release a physical version, it sells out immediately. You know what I mean?
And
And it's hard to get your
selling back to other
hands.
people for like twice as much.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to get your hands on it. So I feel like that is a good example of how media is here to stay. Physical media is here to stay.
Not to cut you off, but you completely ignored Andy and just
Oh,
went
I'm
like,
so
"Cool."
sorry, Andy. Oh,
It's okay. I'm really partial to owning things. I like physical stuff.
It's
Exactly.
like the end. It's like, give me game. Touch game. I go, "No." Delicious.
It goes on my shelf of things that I haven't played yet.
Yeah, this big beautiful shelf. Yeah, I specifically don't try to hang on. Like I've seen collectors that just have everything for the sake of having everything. I make it a point to only get things that I will play. So my collection isn't gigantic, but the collection I do have, I like to physically have it, and it hurts when I have to download something. Just it's like I like to have it and like appreciate it on the wall, like it's all pretty.
Well, yeah, because I feel like you hit a certain point where you're like, okay, there's so much stuff, so let's really own. I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but it's like let's really own what we really love, or you know what I mean? Because space issues, but
Yes.
so that's why it hurts.
I would like to agree with that, but I still have every single game I've ever
Yeah, I'm gonna be
gotten from NES, SNES, N64, all the way up. And I've had every system except any Microsoft system. So I have a ton of games just on
me
back,
too.
back in the back. Oh
And
my
it's funny,
God.
I say that, but
So
I'm like,
bad.
ooh, that in box? Okay, I'll get it.
Well, you see my collection. Now, my collection is if I can't display it, I get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly. Your collection, everything has a story. At most of it's mecha, but but there is some like unique gems in there that are not mecha, which surprised me. But I mean, it's the nostalgia feeling. Eventually, I feel like I get to the point that she said, I'm just gonna be like, what do I really enjoy out of this, and everything else just leave.
I'll probably sell it for quite a bit at this rate, also.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Some stuff's come down, some stuff's gone way up. So
I've even kept all the instruction booklets and everything, surprisingly.
But you know what? I'm really not that type of person. I don't like to buy things and not open them because they're going to be worth a ton of money one day.
You get it to enjoy
You know,
it, which is the right way, I think.
because I love it, and of course, yeah, I definitely want to have the box for something. You know, a few years ago, you bought me Mylan Secret Castle in box, and that was amazing. I feel like I almost cried. You know, that's special. I don't want to own that because I want to sell it one day. I know, dang. God, I've gotten so good at this.
Talked about one Gundam yet.
So good.
So, Andrew, are you a hoarder? Are you someone who slims down basically only on what you like?
He's a
Well,
hoarder.
hold up. I'll only keep it if I really like it. I get rid of the ones that I'm not going to keep.
I could. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think I sort of agree with what he says, except for like maybe the magic cards. He just has all of them.
No longer has a mattress.
You're one to
just this
talk.
big wobbly
Let's
stack.
not talk about the fact that I still have every single magic card I've ever gotten, except for the ones I traded in for other stuff. Let's ignore that.
The ones you traded in for other magic cards.
I eventually traded some into cash, but that was whenever I got out of the hobby.
To buy more cards.
No, I got out of the hobby because it cost too much. Too much.
Yeah, card gaming's expensive.
Yes.
Especially if you, like, there's a couple like Magic and like Pokemon really isn't that bad. It's the more obscure stuff like Final Fantasy or like those get pricey because they charge more per thing. It's like
Or Weiss.
Yes.
yeah.
My
I was
anime
gonna
card
say,
game.
what's Fuchs waifu game?
It's Weiss Schwartz.
Another of our friends.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Mr. Fan.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind playing anything new.
It's pretty fun.
Sweet. So, yeah, digital has its place. Physical will always be better as far as I'm concerned, even if, sometimes digital games might load faster or they might be cheaper, which I think is one of the biggest issues with digital is most of the time it's not cheaper, even though it costs
Usually
them literally nothing to make it.
Yes.
It's usually the exact same price.
Yeah. But it's digital's coming, whether we want to or not. It's on its way.
I mean,
It's
I think
inevitable.
it's definitely going to happen, but there's always going to be a market. There's always going to be people that like physical and people who don't want to transition. Only if they have to. Like in our case, we like to buy physically, and if we have to, then we'll buy it digitally if that's the only option.
Physically buy physical.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Well, you do have
You
to
know what I
physically
mean?
buy the physical copy.
You could get it off of Amazon.
You still have to be a physical being to do
Be
that.
present.
You know what
Speak
I
for
mean.
yourself. I'm ephemeral. Oh my god. I just kind of like swish through.
So you're using your human body as a mecha, what you always want to do. Yeah,
Yes.
sounds about right.
Cyborg.
Woo! Sorry. That's right. I just pretend that my glasses are, something magical and I can see through all of you. Soon, precious,
no.
soon. So now we move on to a question of the show. Also, it occurred to me, I didn't talk a lot about Smash. How about that input lag?
Oh my god. It's so bad with the wireless Switch Pro controllers.
Yep.
Like I had to go back to the GameCube controller despite the fact that my callus was just awful. Yeah, I ripped off a
spraying
callus.
everywhere.
I ripped off like my skin whenever I was playing with Matt because we played for like 6 hours straight one night. And
Was it only 6?
It was that night.
That particular night.
That
not the
particular
next
night. Yeah. And then I ended up calling it him Imper Callus for a while until he fell off and grew back.
The best raid boss ever.
I feel. Do you feel like it's only with the?
It's with every controller.
No,
it is.
it's all of
on
them.
average worse than any other Smash by a large margin, though.
I personally feel like playing with the wired GameCube controller, I know that there was definitely something, but once I adjusted, I really didn't feel like it was
You
that
also
bad.
play as twitchy little characters usually. Like
That's
I
true, I
notice.
do.
That's the thing. I notice it when I play a Zero Suit. I notice it really bad.
Yes.
But to be fair, though, I also come from hundreds of hours in Project M, where the input lag is way down.
Well, I mean, I played a ton. I played almost as much with you, or well, not almost as much, but I definitely
Girl,
played.
I hate to say it, you didn't come close to me and Junior.
I definitely put a lot of hours into Project M. Though.
Junior, you know.
Yes, I definitely put a lot of hours into that game, and I still feel like it. I don't know.
You're also like,
It's okay.
It's not so bad.
I know.
Like the room could be on fire.
I'm fine.
This is fine.
That's
Like,
me
it's
completely.
It's not unplayable, but for certain things, it's definitely a hindrance. I think.
Well, isn't most of it just because of the way the priming system now works in
queue?
it? Yes, the queuing up. You can
with the
literally
buffer.
queue in
Queue.
You can input queue, I think, up to 2 actions. And that is just absolutely bonkers, and that's probably what causes the input lag because it has to process that.
Yeah.
I
Which is,
guess it really depends on the character too.
and then let's not talk about but the online that you're paying for now. Don't forget.
Yes.
Okay, but to be fair,
Don't even make that excuse.
the online is $20.
You're good.
Okay,
So you're paying
for
$20
a
for
No,
four.
wait. Well, I'm gonna be devil's advocate, but smiley. Basically, it's gonna be bad now because Nintendo's
Yes.
never done online multiplayer,
Thank
but they
you.
better make it better.
See, that's the
And they
excuse
have
they've made for the
to-
past 2 generations
they
where they've
have
had
to-
I know,
online
but the thing is,
multiplayer.
they had no money for that, so there was nothing funding particularly for that. But now that we are specifically paying for an online, the online subscription, they better make this
I'll give them 30
higher
days.
quality.
No,
I give
that
them-
is not enough time.
Actually, to be fair, that's plenty of time to
Yeah.
reprogram it if they worked around the clock. I figure, but knowing Nintendo, I'd probably say a better estimate is probably 3 to 4 months.
Because counting the
I've been by the next
3
E3.
weeks the game's already been out. There's already been 2 or 3 patches to the
When
game.
the next Smash is announced.
I feel
Yes.
like they have to learn. They have to adjust. They've never done this before.
It's Nintendo. They don't adjust to
$20 for a
anything.
year is not a
Yes.
lot. So
It wouldn't be if
let
it
them
worked.
let them practice and figure it out, and I think it'll be up and running in no time.
I have a feeling I'm never
Like,
going to play
better.
Smash Online again because I don't think they're ever going to fix it. I wish I could be like as
I mean, there's almost no reason to
think
play it
it'll be fine.
online.
yeah, because it
I
doesn't
mean,
work.
no one had issues
And
playing
there's
Splatoon.
bugs that you get
They're
online
actually
that you
having
don't
issues
get
playing
other
Splatoon
places.
right now.
Platoon.
Platoon.
Do an air dodge
Yes,
and then
it's the
Yes.
DLC for Splatoon. Just
off the stage
Platoon.
you go.
Just
Go.
Platoon.
like I said, for when you're paying for a service, you lose the excuse for it's just this, it's just that. Like
Okay.
it's just more money out of my pocket.
And to
It should be
fair,
working.
I completely understand where you're coming from, but you're not paying $60
No, but I'm
a
paying
year.
$20 a
paying
year,
$20.
which means I'm giving them money for a service. I'm
And
not
so
giving them
I
money
think-
for a service.
I get it, but they realize, I feel like that's why it's cheap, because they realize it's not, you can't compare it to Sony or Microsoft. It's not going to be comparable to those online services
Why?
yet.
What about is it
But they-
comparable to
they will be.
to
It will
PC
be
gaming, which
soon.
is free and works?
Yeah.
Tucci.
Tucci, mon ami.
But-
Touche.
Touche. Just give them time, and it'll be fine. And I'm not going to cry about it if it's only $20.
I'm enjoying the game.
know
I
what I
just
mean?
I won't pay for it if it doesn't work. Even if it's $5, I won't pay for it if it doesn't work. That's like when I canceled Crunchyroll because it wasn't. There was a period about a year ago when it was a horrible service. I'm like, well, it's only this much. I'm like, I don't care. It doesn't work.
I mean, but then you re-got Crunchyroll.
When it worked.
Regot?
Yes. Now, yes, when you re-gotted. Because now it functions again also.
Yeah.
There was a while there where it didn't function at all. I'm like, I'm not paying for
It
this. I have
would
to wait for
freeze
things
a
to
lot.
buffer.
Yeah.
I feel like it still takes forever to load though, like 20 years to load.
You guys are spoiled.
This is not Arc on the Switch. That's just
What
a
are we
disaster.
spoiled? Well, at least I know I grew up with dial-up. I'm not spoiled. I know about waiting.
I just expect. When I pay
I
for something,
remember
I
those
expect to have it.
days. Yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from, but sometimes I feel like it's you're too hard on them.
Well, when I give people money, I tend to expect results.
I agree with Matt to an extent because if this does not work, I will
extent.
not pay for this anymore.
Yeah, like I won't paying for it next year because it's like I have Nintendo Line for this and Diablo. That's it.
Well, I mean,
And
I
all you
guess
need
if
to
you're
play
not going to
against
use
is me
it.
and Andy.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, see, I've got like a friend in California and one in Dallas and one up in Colorado that play Smash, and it's like it was nice to play with them, but it's a disaster, especially when you have multiple players. It seems to compound.
Oh no.
Oh boy!
I feel like it's kind of funny though.
I had
It
a-
makes it an experience.
Were you watching the match with Corwin where he went off the side? I was
No.
playing a match with Corwin and he was adult Link, just regular Link.
Okay.
And I went to go hit him with DK and he air dodged past it, but something bugged out, so he just kept air dodging. And
Oh,
went,
see, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were just having a side
Yeah.
conversation
We
about
were talking
that.
about the air dodge and then off into the
yeah,
oblivion you
it's
go.
like from mid level, just gone.
That's amazing.
So fix it, Bungie. All right, please, just fix it.
Bungie?
Bungie,
Yes. No. Fix it, Bethesda.
those are the wrong people after what
Microsoft.
just been happening.
EA, I implore you.
Oh, we're just going further
More
south.
microtransactions. That will save anything. We need Smash loot boxes. That's what we need.
Oh God!
Well,
Please
we-
do not plant that seed.
Actually, what we really need is an Ethernet cable port. That's not that came with the Switch.
And that's not an adapter that they sell, but
Yes.
no one has?
Yes, exactly, but no one has for the Switch. And if they did that and work their servers around having good internet, maybe, just maybe,
It'll be their next
it might
console, I'm
work.
sure.
So you want to talk
You mean the
about
next?
Bungie?
Well,
I feel
technically,
like that's
next
what's going
handheld.
on.
No, why are we talking
Yeah,
about
same
Bungie?
thing.
I said I feel like you want to talk about Bungie. Let's do it.
Why are we talking about Bungie?
Because you mentioned Bungie.
Oh, it's just a joke. Fix it,
was-
Bungie.
I thought it was this
They already did.
Freudian
They
slip
killed Cade. We're good.
type thing.
I'm
No. You know, speaking of, we had ramen this evening, which was amazing.
Yes.
A perfect way to ring in the new year. And
My
we're thinking
first
of
time
you,
having
Cade.
actual ramen and
Yes.
finishing it.
Yes.
I can use chopsticks now, kind of.
No,
It
he
was
can't. He used a
Matt's
fork.
first
Don't
I
worry.
used it for
He
the
wimped
gyoza.
out.
He wimped out.
He wimped out.
I had to order for him,
My
but
wrist
it was
was
awesome.
cramping.
He
I'm not
actually
used to
enjoyed
using
it.
those particular things.
Your
Ramen is
fingers.
life.
No.
You play Smash just fine.
Yeah, that's this. That's not these.
Oh,
these,
the last two.
Yeah, the last two don't do anything. They get weak. The mind is strong, but the flesh is weak. Okay. At that point, like stab it.
First three, mind. Last two, flesh.
Yes, exactly. What did you say about? What was it? The
Wait.
doing it Italian style? Just
Oh, eating
reaching-
it with your... Yeah, let's do it Italian style. Just
Wait. If the first three are mine, that means all the Ninja Turtles only use their mind.
Well, then they're really, really good. They're ninjas, of course.
Oh wait, sorry, like this.
Yeah, to the full-on crab
There you
people.
go.
Crab
Oh my gosh, my
people.
hand is like cramping. I can't do this. I can do this one. I can't do this one. It's like, no.
Yeah, if you want to just like
Does
stretch
not
your hand out,
compute.
Wait, you're an artist. Why do you not have fine motor skills with your fingers?
Have you seen her draw? She
mean-
grabs like a piece of wood and burns it and goes like this.
Well, I mean, she draws very well for just going like this. Man, you have some great skills to be able to draw
It's
like
a
this. and-
bicycle helmet with a strap.
No, she just puts a pin in her mouth, just like.
Well, that's different from like, I don't know.
were you like doing
It's
a
like,
crane
it
stance?
doesn't want to, right?
I guess the only
this
reason
hand
why
is fine.
I have fine motor skills is
live
because
long and prosper.
the only reason why I have fine motor skills compared to y'all is because I did origami for so many years, but that's just probably because I'm Asian, so go figure. Oh, yeah, I don't look it,
genetic.
so yeah, ignore that. Only being a quarter just somehow makes me look white as white can be.
It's the flour.
You know, I put it on every day. Gotta look pretty for Andrew.
Just avoid the match though. 'Cause
Oh no.
if you want to have some fun, just take some flour, put it over the lighter, and blow it. No, don't do that.
No,
Never do that.
No.
Don't do that.
absolutely not.
Fire.
A warning:
hazard.
do not try at home.
It's like Happy New Year's. House burns down.
Please no.
This guy on a podcast told me to do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it at all. No.
No.
And okay, so question of the show that we were talking about 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
Talking about Smash, they announced Joker. That just blew my mind. Like,
I was
Oh
really
my God.
surprised.
Joker from Persona, by the way. At first, I was like Jack Nicholson Joker, like. So Joker from Persona 5, which is awesome, and
please, Nintendo, please. Can we have the Persona games on Switch?
Persona 5R, we don't know for sure, so we'll see.
I want Persona 3.
But it set kind of a standard, and Reggie said like to expect more out of the box characters like that. So I thought it'd be fun
pleased.
if we could maybe do some predictions here.
Okay, but like, the one that I picked wasn't really a realistic prediction.
That's
Yes,
fine.
it is.
I would say I have
You
a.
think so?
Yes.
Okay.
A realistic prediction, and I have a dream character that will never happen, but I would never play anybody else if it did.
Yes.
Let's flip flop. We'll go with Aaron first this time because I went first last time.
Okay, so I guess my two dream predictions would either be Agumon, any kind of version of Digimon, anyone, and then the other one would be I know it's really out of the blue there. The other one would be Banjo-Kazooie, but the copyright problems and all that.
A lot of people want that. Though.
Yeah, I really wanted that one, but the one that
talking about Chrono the other day though.
Chrono is a really good one, but
more swords.
But yes, exactly.
There are gonna be more swords.
There are, but my actual one that I think is a strong pull, despite the fact that everyone's supposed to be out of the box, is Skull Kid, just because he's not a spirit, despite the fact that he's one of the biggest fan base things, and almost every single spirit covers all the fan based ones that are not characters, and including the fact that the Sis trophies as well.
I'm gonna be real.
You're
Skull Kid would be amazing.
Specific Majora's Mask Skull Kid, not
Yes.
just like generic Skull Kid.
No, not a Majora's Mask Skull Kid, because
Amazing.
generic Skull Kid, there would be no
be-
moveset.
He'll just play music and dance.
However, yes, yeah. I mean, they could do something with maybe like his down B like transformation with Sheik and Zelda, in which case his down B activates his Majora's Mask or something, but I have no idea.
That would be so cool. I would love that.
I like it.
I would love it.
All right, Andy, what you got?
Who are mine again? I forget every 12 seconds. You have to give me a
Andy
second.
looks
That's
so
why I went. That's why I
confused.
went with my dream ones, because I honestly forgot about Skull Kid.
It was like he
You
realized.
know me. I'm a dirty fanboy. I want more swordy Fire Emblem.
He wants
characters.
Hector.
Oh god.
Actually, I don't want more swordy
You
Fire
have
Emblem
other,
characters.
like, I'd take, I mean, there's enough Fire Emblem characters. I'd take another one if it was like
I
another
want
mage or,
Hector.
Axe. Just
Hector
axe,
uses an
please.
axe as his main weapon.
or what's her face, Pegasus lady from Fates.
Oh, I know what yours was. Yours was Goemon.
Oh yeah, Goemon from Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. He's owned by
Final
Konami.
Smash has to be his mech.
It's gotta be Impact.
The
10
most
out of 10.
goofy mech in the world.
Yes.
It's like this big Muppet, like.
Oh, and then my other actual one, because not Hector. I tried to not do Fire Emblem characters because I want to expect the unexpected. I chose
So you
were
did
talking
Tails
about it.
instead.
Tales of characters.
Oh no.
Bless
I forgot who we were talking about.
I thought we were up. We decided on either Tails or one of the many thousands of millions of Fire Emblem characters. You
Yeah.
It was either that or
Or,
But
you
I
know,
want to
just
go with Tails characters because I think we have enough Fire Emblem
Lloyd.
characters.
toss a saber in there. You know?
Lloyd, because he was.
Yeah, Lloyd. Lloyd.
because one of the
Lloyd
biggest
uses
RPG
2 swords.
So it would be somewhat different.
2.
Like I wouldn't mind a sword class as long as it's something. We've talked about this where you don't need Marth, Roy, Lucina, and even Chrom at
Like
this rate.
we talked about it the other day. You don't need 4 Marts.
No, you don't.
No.
You need at most 2.
And then an Ike. You know, 'cause Ike's
Rush off the
different.
table.
To be fair, what should have been done is that Roy should have had the moveset of Chrom. They should have changed it a little bit because Chrom is much more individualistic, and then Marth, and then Ike, and then that's it.
Because Chrom's like a blend of Marth and Ike.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And his 8th is better.
Heck, if you chose Hector, you could just be an echo of Ike with an axe.
Yeah, I mean, Ike swings his sword like it's just a block of wood anyway, so
Well,
it's fine.
Ike uses an axe in one of the games too.
Well, there we go then. Cool. What you got, kid?
I actually just thought of one that's funny. So the one that I was thinking would be good candidates, Hollow Knight.
Yes.
That'd be amazing. And we were talking about this earlier when we were having ramen. Sans.
Oh yes, Sans.
I think that's actually a good a
That's also
possibility.
another popular one.
And then
people want.
one more just hit me actually. Bendy. That was just released for the Switch, so I think that would be really interesting.
But
I
yeah,
don't
it's
think that'll
possible.
happen, but I think that would be really
would be cool,
interesting.
though.
Dream character, Vampire Hunter D.
Oh, also to add.
God, dude!
Also, to add his Matt's dream character is also one of my dream characters because we both have a massive for this game. That is coming from.
I agree. You good?
Yep.
Okay, first one, and both of these are probably not going to happen, but first one I would say the Prince from Katamari, because he would be awesome.
Yes.
Look, if you can shrink really down, you can bring the Prince up a little bit size, make him like
True.
Pichu size, and have him just like roll
my God,
everybody up.
I would never play as another character again.
I mean, well,
Even if there was
they
Hollow Knight.
already
just-
made Olimar bigger because he's only like that big. in
Yeah,
reality.
so why not?
I would do it just for the music that would be added.
Yeah, the best stage in the universe,
That would be
dude.
Also,
so
the music.
cool.
No, well, yours.
That makes a lot of sense. I actually think
Best
that's a
stage ever,
really
really, though.
big
Yes.
possibility.
It could just be the king of all cosmos.
Yes.
Yep. He's like walk on his head.
It'd be a replacement for the poker floats that they didn't give us.
Yeah.
I was so mad when it wasn't there. Oh my god, everyone hates that level. I'm like, it was so fun though.
It was.
In so many bad ways, though.
Oh yeah,
I dig it.
Play that stage with nothing but warp stars. No. He's lots of fun.
Die instantly, don't you?
Pretty close. Yeah, it's pretty
At
quick.
least you can control where it goes. Sort of.
Somewhat. Occasionally it listens to you. My other character, I mean, everyone knows here that I have a huge obsession with anything treasure, specifically Mischief Maker. It's my favorite game ever. Just give me Marina so I can just
That would be
shake
cool.
people to death.
Shake,
Okay,
shake.
let's be honest. That would not also be one of the best soundtracks to add, because that is Mischief Makers has probably one of the best soundtracks for N64, hands down.
I can agree with that wholeheartedly. I'm a bit biased, but yep.
I'm biased as well because I like it, but it is pretty good.
So something of note also when we play just shapes and beats, some of the characters look like the clans.
Yes.
And I was like,
hey, I see that little nod right there.
yeah, there's like bloop, bloop, just balls kind of like bouncing back and forth. I'm like, that's
Oh my
so
gosh.
cool. But yeah, so
Wouldn't you love a remaster of that?
I would die. Like,
And then
just
I would
melt.
actually play more of it because I'm so sorry, but you know how I feel about the 64 controller.
64 games look like crap.
Even though
now
I love
anyways,
Ocarina
but,
of Time and Majora's Mask, you know how I feel about the controller?
like, I really wish they'd make a good HDMI. Like that. Also the GameCube adapter. I want like that for 64. There's something that exists, but it's really expensive.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Like
and it
crazy
just makes me sad.
expensive. Like the GameCube adapter is about like 100, 120, 150 bucks, whatever, which I think is worth it for the visual fidelity you get out of it.
Yes.
Like I would take that for my 64. Just clean it up a little bit. Let me play GoldenEye without just big, nasty, like putty heads
So with
running
like
around.
upscales to HD?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
just
kind of cool.
sharpen things a little bit. That's all I want.
Nifty.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, just big, mwah. Just, so I can see the shake and all of
Shake, shake.
Shake, shake. To be honest, that game, speaking of the controller, the awkward controller, that game is one of the few that you have two sets of controls, movement controls, and that's why it's so, actually three. If you count the C buttons using the dash, it's one of the weirdest. I had to figure out how to play it.
And it's unique because the C button dash and the D pad dash gives you different boost levels. Yeah.
Yes, and I did not know that for the dash, the marathon level, when you had the marathon. I kept on using the C one. I never beat it.
Yep.
It's the D pad. I didn't even know.
Gotta hold the controller upside down and be like,
Yes, exactly. Just spare it.
yeah. Once again, Mission Maker's best game ever. What?
Another
Yes.
dream character would be any Fatal Frame character. Just give it to me.
They were already in the game.
Yes.
Assist trophy.
Oh, assist
Yeah, assist
trophies.
trophy.
That's right.
Sorry.
That's right.
Mean
Dang
assist
it!
Bad,
trophy.
so
too.
sad.
Oh my god. Like super mean.
I remember seeing that. Yeah.
And
that's right.
Goku.
We all know the real wanted DLC character, Waluigi. But he can't be.
It's not gonna happen.
Never
and
gonna happen.
aha.
Don't bother me.
I loved the Piranha Plant announcement just because it wasn't Waluigi.
Yeah.
I just like the Piranha Plant announcement because it was hilarious.
Freaking piranha.
You know what's funny too?
Has feet.
Sakurai troll,
It has little
dude.
feet.
A few months back when I was at a conference, Reggie was there.
Yeah.
And when he came out to talk to everybody, he had a big Waluigi background. Just
All right.
trolling everybody.
I'm gonna get us going into a break because we're about to hit an hour already, and we haven't even gotten to the meat of the show yet.
Oh,
So,
gosh.
We're going to take a quick break, bathroom break, tea break, whatever, and we will be right back. Any final words before we take a break, Andy? All right, we'll be right back.
Hey Matt, did you hear about the new thing the kids are posting to nowadays?
Of course not. I don't go outside and have no friends.
Instabook?
The Face Station,
Snapstagram?
Squid Bucket.
It doesn't matter. Game Over Podcast has one.
What?
An Instagram and a Facebook.
Cool. What do those do?
We'll post all kinds of adventures and shenanigans.
That's cool, I guess.
So you should give us a follow.
What's the address?
I have no idea, but it's on the screen.
Hey, neat. You should check it out. I don't really know what it is, though.
We post pictures and stuff.
Buckets?
Sure.
Cool.
And for those of you not looking at a screen, give us a follow on Instagram at GameOvercast and on Facebook, GameOvercast.usa.
Hello and welcome back to Game Overcast. Robots are cool. That's all. Have a good night.
Welcome.
We're out
Good
of here.
night, everyone.
It's all you need. And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
If only.
I want a cookie.
Cookies sound really good right now.
Game Overcast, sponsored by The Thing.
Cookies. Oh, yeah.
Or not, by The Thing. The Thing's on the table right
The
now.
thing that eats cookies.
Great game if you play it, by the way. I can't reach it, but it's right there. Thank you. The
Well,
Thing.
we played the board game,
We're PlayStation 2.
and it's so good.
It is. Okay, so now we get into the meat of our show that we're going to have to rush now because we always take too long. So this month's or shows or episodes or whatever's topic is going to be anticipated games of 2020. 2012. I was going to say
Whoa.
randomly.
Whoa!
I remember it coming in the future, 2012. Yeah. Long night.
The
Happy
world
New Year.
didn't end. We actually got caught in a time loop.
Time warp.
7 years in the future.
Let's do the time warp again.
It's just a jump to the left. So, anticipated games of 2019. And
Yay.
in typical format, so typical the format that we do now, where all four of us have made a list and kept it mostly secret.
I kept all my secrets.
There's a couple of them I know are going to overlap, but
Keep your secrets.
I saw his.
Yeah.
Just one.
so what we'll do is I guess we'll just start and kind of work our way across. And if our hey cheater,
Are these in
Every
any
time.
specified order, by the way? Because I didn't put them in any
I listed
specified
mine
order.
by. Well, I'll explain here a bit. So if anybody's games overlap, we can all just talk about them anyways and just mark it off your list.
Okay.
The rules for this, at least my rules that I set, was game has to have a release date in 2019. It can be a vague date like spring 2019 or just
Sometime 2019.
But
But we were kind of loose with that because as long as the trailer said coming
2019, yeah.
2019,
That's
then
what
we're
I
like,
mean.
okay, you can throw it on the
as
list.
opposed to it can't coming soon doesn't count. It has to at least say 2019. But yeah, that's it. I'll start.
or
I guess.
if it claims that it's coming in 2019,
Yeah, some of them
but
I don't
it
know,
doesn't
but-
say 2019 on the trailer, we left those out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel like at least on my list, the really obvious ones, I kind of, because you guys know, if you listen to all of the other podcasts, that we've talked about Kingdom Hearts a lot.
yeah,
and Resident Evil 2.
It's gonna be there.
Yeah, so I know it's going to be there, but I left it off my list just because
Really,
I didn't.
you
yeah,
left Kingdom Hearts off of your list.
surprisingly, I
and
know.
Resident Evil.
I know. Yeah, I did.
Wow,
I
okay.
did. I was strong. But I mean, everybody knows I'm looking forward to those anyway.
You see, you try to be creative. I'm like robot.
I was like, I'm trying to be creative. No.
This is what I do. This is Matt.
But yeah.
Okay, well, I'll kick it off then. Starting off with, wait for it, guys, a robot game.
Wow.
Which one this time?
This one for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh man, what is it?
Someday 2019 is Daemon X Machina.
Oh, I can
Go
check
on,
it
start
off
your
mine.
list there, Andy, because I know it's there. So this game is being brought to us by, wow, I don't remember who it is anymore. Is it, what's the name of it? Doesn't matter.
I never paid attention.
But it's this really colorful, beautiful mecha game where you construct your mech out of different parts and you can upgrade as you go, and you can also scavenge parts off of other vehicles and mechs during the mission. So you're like, huh, that's a cool beam saber. Rip.
Okay, that sounds cool. That does sound
It
cool.
reminds me a lot of this. I think it was called Cyborg Justice for the Genesis, where it was a really bad game. But it have you guys ever played Mortal Kombat Mythologies, the Sub-Zero game?
I'm familiar. The side scroller one, the RPG.
Yes,
I'm familiar with it.
Horrible. Where it was Mortal Kombat, but a side scroller. So it just
And
it
an
was-
RPG, so
yeah,
you
it
didn't
was
start with any of the abilities.
terrible. But it was like that, but with robots. You'd go around and you'd pick your robot, then you'd fight other robots, and you could pull off their limbs and keep them for yourself. It was great. So this strikes me as that, but actually good. And it's so pretty, just like bright reds.
It's
and
a more
pink.
violent version of Custom Robo.
Yeah, very much so. Exactly. It looks glorious
And bigger.
And it is going to have multiplayer, but we haven't seen what that is yet. So I can just imagine like building a robot and then ripping Brit's robot to pieces and taking its parts.
How mean.
I'll help.
Yeah, it's just
I'll
it's like,
watch.
kill the little one, kill it.
Savage.
But I mean, this was just a given. This was how Nintendo opened their E3 conference last year. I was like, hey, money, take money, take all money now.
When can I give money?
Like we haven't seen much. We saw like a little bit of gameplay during E3, and that's kind of it. They did say it's targeted for 2019. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not. But right now, currently, it's still 2019. So, thumbs up. Go for it, kiddo.
Okay, so this one actually does have a release date, a set release date. I cannot remember if it is March or May. It's an M. I think it's March.
I think it's
October.
March. I think it's
I
March.
think it's March.
Manuary?
Right? Manuary.
A very hairy month.
But it is also for the Nintendo Switch, and it is the first time. I know this game has been out in Japan, but it is the first time it's being released here in this country. It is called The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. This game looks stunning. It's like if Tim Burton and like somebody else, I can't think of who,
Somebody else.
came
like American
together.
McGee.
Yes! Oh my god, thank you so much. Yes, so
Gotcha,
Tim
bro.
Burton and American McGee came together and made a game. It would totally be The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. The art looks amazing, and it's supposed to be based, if I'm correct, off of some Japanese folktale. But the story is it's kind of like a fairy tale, but the story is something happens to this prince. He gets his eyes clawed out, and he becomes deformed.
It's a lovely story.
I know.
Yes.
I can already
Very
tell it's going to
happy.
be really sad, and I don't know.
I think I read the synopsis to you on
You
this
know
one.
how I feel about sad games, so I don't know. Maybe it'll have a happy ending. And then there's a wolf.
Not likely.
No.
And I think the wolf is a prince. Oh my god, I'm probably messing
She
this up.
transforms to lead the blind prince.
Yes, right? So the wolf is the princess.
Yes.
Can you see just a really, really waterworks ending already?
I
mean,
know.
it's kind of
because
good.
apparently she's the reason why his eyes were clawed out, and she feels guilty, so she wants to lead him to a witch that will give him his eyesight back. It looks, oh my gosh, please look up this game.
And
It's
before
coming
they all
out in
get
March.
eaten.
Support it because I want more games like this. And it looks amazing. But The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince coming out in March.
very nice, Brett.
Super stoked.
What you got, Andy?
Well, the first thing on my list is Kingdom Hearts 3.
Of course it is.
See,
You
and
knew
I
it was
knew
going
he
to be
was
in
gonna.
there.
Yeah. Well
I
done.
also knew that he was going to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, so which is why I left it off my list. So
Well, I've played like most of the other ones, so unlike you guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some help. We talked about this the other day where I've played 1 and 2.
I've only
course we
finished
played
like
one and
half of
two.
one.
Oh, wow, you're worse than any of us. Cool.
Yeah.
So of course,
Which
because
one?
we're
The first one.
Oh God. Okay.
I'll play them for you guys. You can watch
We
them.
just sit there and
so
watch.
of course we're very big Kingdom Hearts fans. But we have played 1 and 2 completely. The spin-off series we did kind of ignore. I'm gonna be real. I did touch
Until
a
you
few
realize
of
that they
them.
might be important.
Yeah, I mean,
At that point, it was far too late.
Too late.
I'm curious as to what the setup is going to be, and I've talked about this on the show before. I have already played a part of Kingdom Hearts 3, and it was amazing. It was not confusing, so
the
I'm
gameplay,
curious
yeah.
as to how they're going to set it up.
I mean, the
if
gameplay's been the same
If
through
there
all of
are
them, really.
only
Yeah.
people that have played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, and not all of the spin-offs, like we have touched some of the spin-offs, we have, but not
Which
all of
Xehanort
them.
are you today?
So
Which one of the 13 we talked about it the
Good
other day?
lord.
I'm curious if they're going to take those people into consideration.
So confused.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I mean, like, I really enjoyed 1, and I played 2 to death.
Oh my god, yes.
And I just never got. I mean, because they were all. I mean, it was like DS game, and it was a P. I never owned a PSP until a couple of years ago, anyways.
Yeah.
And I just never got into it.
I love the soundtracks. You know, we were listening to them the other day, and I forgot how much I love Dearly
I've been
Beloved.
having these strange thoughts lately.
So good, so
Like, is any
good.
of this real?
Takes
or
me
not?
back.
Oh my god, no.
I told you the only other one you need to play is Birth by Sleep. So
Get to work, Andy.
get to work. Start. I'll plug it into your console or
Yep.
something.
We'll just sit
Yep.
there and play Smash in the background. When's our cutscene? Okay, cool.
But yeah, I must say that level that I played the Toy Story level, it was awesome. So I really feel like it's going to be phenomenal.
But no, back to the subject. I think people who only played 1 or 2 will be fine.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be like things that they're a bit like confused on, but I think they'll be fine for the most part.
I feel like
Otherwise,
people
they'd eliminate a larger part of the audience.
And I'm going to be fair because I feel like, to be fair, we know about that stuff. We just haven't finished all of those
Well, you know
games.
what I say? Kingdom Hearts, the only story more convoluted than Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's my point. I feel like even if you did play them, it's
Fair
still
enough.
convoluted.
It's a pretty big mess. Like, it's good, but because the Junior has explained to me the story in detail before, and it was just in one ear out the other. I'm like, so where's Cloud in all of this?
Yeah.
Well, you see, actually, in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, they've got Zack instead.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks.
I mean, same thing, right?
Oh,
No, because I like Zack
yeah,
more.
low blow.
Low blow. Sorry.
Man. Whatever.
Oh, come on. He wishes he was Zach.
He does.
He does.
He does. He's got entirely wrong hair, man. Like, it's not even close.
Yeah.
But cool. Final Fantasy Hearts. Final Hearts.
Basically,
Final Hearts.
Kingdom Fantasy.
Final
Might as well
Hearts
be.
16.
Yes. I'd play it. It's just Roxas and Noctis. Like,
Yep.
Have I told you, gentlemen, before that I have a my counterpart DM often gets complimented on his lovely Final Fantasy cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I think you talked to me about this the other day, actually.
It's great. So I'm like, man, yeah, because I've worked a couple cons with him, and I'm always harassed. Like, yeah, man, he's been practicing this for years. And he'll just give me that look like this is
You're
just my
so
hair.
evil.
It's just the way I look. Okay.
But Tian, we want you to know you have a beautiful wig. Moving
Oh,
on.
I'm gonna hear from it in Austin. Okay,
All right,
Aaron, what you
I
got?
think we've talked about Kingdom Hearts enough.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to be the one that goes full on indie over here. It's as well. Psychonauts 2.
I figured.
He doesn't like it, but I have to say that the storyline, and he says the gameplay was bad, but the gameplay was pretty good as well for the original Psychonauts. The budget was tiny as all heck, and they created lovable characters and a memorable game. And to be honest, I'm looking forward to Psychonauts 2 from Double Fine Productions. I haven't looked up much about it because these people gave me 30 minutes notice on what I need to pick
Told
up.
you we found him outside.
Yeah, pretty much on what I need to do
In the
for these.
dumpster out back,
Shh, don't tell them about my night job. Anyway.
Research station.
So I'm very excited for that because it hits really home to heart because it's one of the few PS2 games that I have replayed at least 6 times instead of just the usual 2 on the ones that I really like. And I don't think anyone else has that on their list or even wants to talk about that.
You darn right.
Probably
No.
done.
Oh no.
Psychonauts it's something I never got into, but it was. We talked about it. It was an awesome game just by the idea behind it was super, super cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, so I've got one that's not AAA here. That's truly hey! Stop it! Streets of Rage 4. Game they announced last year. One of my favorite beat 'em up series ever was Streets of Rage. Played the crap out of it. In fact, it's the only Genesis game I'm missing from my original childhood Genesis collection was Streets of Rage 3. I know 2 is technically better, but 3 was the one that I played a lot as a kid.
It's because you're waiting for the perfect copy.
Yeah.
Manual and all.
Every time I see one, it's like either the case isn't perfect or the manual is missing. It's been like 6 years. I haven't seen a good one yet. But so they announced Streets of Rage 4. The art style is going to have this like hand-drawn kind of spritey thing where it looks more cartoony than pixely. But I'm not sure if it's going to be good. But so far, it looks pretty darn good. And it's Streets of Rage, so I have to play it. It's like I'll just cry if not. But it looks pretty cool. I mean, I like beat 'em ups a lot, and Streets of Rage I think is one of the best. Yeah. I mean, am I alone here in this, or?
Well, if I saw gameplay of it, it would probably be familiar, but I don't think I played it.
Okay.
I'm familiar with Streets of Rage. I don't think I've seen the trailer for 4.
Here's my experience with beat 'em ups from my childhood: Battletoads, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
There you go. Cool. Yeah. I've got a bit of an issue with it, so it's like that, but then it's like King of Dragons and Captain Commando.
All of them. Golden Axe.
Quite a few of them, yeah. Golden Axe. Golden Axe actually I think sucks horribly.
Punisher.
Yeah,
As
but
a
it's
Genesis
just
person.
very well known though.
Music's beautiful though. Like, oh my god, it's so good. Punisher, yes, I love the Punisher.
Awesome.
Such a good Genesis game. It's so expensive now. Yeah, Punisher's a really good beat 'em
You
up
have that
hero.
one, right?
Oh, darn
Yeah,
right I
that's
do.
a great one.
Oh yeah. Well, cool. You may proceed, Britt. I know we're eating time here.
So, yes. How could I not put this on my list? Windjammers 2, baby.
Yes.
I mean, Matt and I have played hours of Windjammers, and
is this?
and we even did a video on it.
Is it a frisbee golf game?
It's a frisbee. Yeah,
frisbee.
it's frisbee, but like frisbee soccer. So there's 2
Frisbee
of you
soccer,
on each
okay.
side. And you have to throw the frisbee into a goal, and you can catch it and do like super cool. It was originally a Neo Geo game.
Yes.
So think of like that kind of visuals, like
That
like
sounds
ricocheting
fun.
the frisbee and throwing like flaming frisbee curveballs and everything.
Sounds great.
Limited Run released it like a year ago,
Yes.
and we played it a lot.
I mean, Steve Miller. Enough said. Enough said. Steve Miller.
It's one of the characters, like these awesome, like with the mega like reflective pink shades
Oh
and
my
like
God.
So Gurren Lagann.
What's that one
Yes.
guy?
pretty much yeah.
It's like super 80s
Like-
looking, where he has like a mullet and
The
these
mustache,
huge
yeah.
shoulder
The big,
pads and like
yeah, the green body armor and everything.
so amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I am so stoked
And
to
Miyagi.
hear that Windjammers 2
Big
is sometime
Italian
2019.
stallion.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So yes, Windjammers.
So
amazing.
this will be an original game because there's only one Windjammers originally. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it and hopefully have it still be good.
I'm so happy that it had this renaissance,
Yeah.
you know, and then it just
But
everybody likes it,
you
so
can
let's
try
do it
it 'cause
again.
it's real
So
good.
It's
I'll
so
try it.
good. You'll love it. You'll love it.
It's just,
I'd probably be forced to try
It's
it.
just dumb fun.
it kind of has
is.
a bit to compare it to something that's modern. It kind of has a bit of a Rocket League feeling to it, where it's absurd and just great. Yeah, cool. Windjammers.
And you do some accidentally cool stuff.
Most of the time.
Let's see. How about next thing on my list will be Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Dang it. Okay, cool. Taking it off.
Okay, so now we have we're gonna have like 4 confirmed overlaps because we already know about another one.
Yeah, I didn't think about that one. Okay, well, go on.
No. So, would you like to give the explanation? You seem really disappointed, dude.
Oh, no, it's fine.
If I am wrong, it's more like Japanese Dark Souls again, right?
Well, you're like a ninja now, I think. Or
Ninja
something like
Japanese
that, yeah.
Dark Souls. And you're probably going to die more than twice.
And you're still dead, and you have the awesome prosthetic arm, which has like the gizmos. So you have the grappling hook and the axe and everything. They've said no co-op, which makes me sad because I'm a baby and like to play with my friends.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I do recall hearing that. But because it's much more.
Does that mean there's only invasions then?
Unplug Ethernet port for the entire game. But I've seen where because there's a lot more traversal because you have the ninja hook and everything, so you can be much more crazy undead Spider-Man kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess it would be kind of disappointing to get like assassinated every 12 seconds you spawn.
Comes flying in, turns into a log. Like, well, so much for that. Okay, cool. 1,000 years of pain. But no, it looks great. It's gonna be real hard.
Yeah.
Like I'm used to having friends to play with me, where it's like you go in there, Corwin, and I'll just shoot arrows at them or something.
I'm kind of like I'm the vanguard for my friends. I go in first and then play through the things, and then I help them, and they end up like falling off a ledge or something stupid, and then I get kicked from their game.
Well, in Dark Souls 3, I made it a point just to be guts all the time. So I mean, the sword is there.
Just run in
Dragon
there.
Slayer is in there. Yeah, with just like this massive, like 4-foot long great sword, and just swing away until your stamina's gone, and then you die.
I use the weapon that has the tiny little dagger, and you can spin on the ground and breakdance your way through the game.
It's like you get it from the one that one knight dude.
The Abyss Watchers.
Yeah, screw those guys.
Yeah, that boss fight's fun. I actually I tanked my way through that fight.
I know you haven't played, Brit. They have this. It's like this dagger with a hook in it, and they'll swing it into the ground and just go whoosh with this giant sword, and it's stupid.
That dagger's actually got a really good parry.
Oh, I've seen enough.
To know you're never gonna play
I
it.
also know that I do not have the patience. I tried, and then I was like, nah.
You've got to be in a state of mind for it, because otherwise
for
it just
sure.
pisses you off.
It takes a special person. I'm not special.
Insane person.
And From actually has announced they have 2 more unannounced games in the works. So in like a perfect world, it would be Bloodborne 2 and a new Armored Core. Hey,
Of course.
I'll take it. Or an Armored Core Souls game where you have to build a robot and go. I mean, while we're dreaming here, guys.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, sure.
Might as well just throw in a remake of Mischief Makers in there.
I mean, well, yeah, dream big, baby. But thank you, Andrew. What you got, sir?
Okay, I guess mine is never on not on any of y'all's lists. One Piece World Seeker, I guess.
Oh,
Definitely not on mine.
No, I didn't put it on my list specifically because I knew you would put it there.
Aw, he's so sweet. But it's basically just because I'm a huge fan of One Piece. Andrew's a huge fan of One Piece. Matt hates it to death just because it's gone on too long.
I know plenty of people who hate it because of the anatomies of the
500
characters.
episodes too long, I
It
think.
doesn't matter. What was it?
I know plenty of people who hate it because of the anatomies of the characters.
The anatomies of characters, yeah, they're bad. But like, to be fair, like, so what? You've watched what kind of cartoons have you watched that isn't weird like that? Come on, Chowder. Let's be honest.
I mean, to be fair, Gundam is also super long.
Yeah, but
Not
they're
individually.
individual
That's
series,
true.
though. It's not like I really would not watch an 800 episode singular Gundam thing. There's nothing you could do to keep me interested that long.
Really?
I still look at this.
I know. I don't believe him either.
No, because
I don't believe
I have
him.
a hard time finishing like Double Zeta,
That's
where
true,
it's like
though.
50 episodes. We're like, oh my god, just kill him.
I never made it past episode 2 of
crying.
Double
like,
Zeta.
give me more robots and then just kill him and move on.
Howard Mason.
There was an episode past 2.
Allegedly.
Okay, so back on track now.
Hey,
One Piece.
Bright Noah chasing chickens. All right, that is all. Have a nice day. You can proceed.
Okay, I'll see you later. No. One Piece World Seeker is basically an open world, I guess Shadow Mordor-esque One Piece game. That's basically all of the gameplay that they showed. That's really it.
That is intriguing.
But it's very interesting, and the fact that the art style is not like Jump, which is super realistic, so it stays true to the anime, and it's just amazing that they're gonna finally do an open world one. I've never heard of like anyone doing an open world anime RPG, so that just sounds like a very interesting concept, and I hope it comes to fruition in a good way, and not like the crappy One Piece RPGs for the DS or like the Naruto RPGs on the 3DS or stuff like that.
They had a lot of hit and miss.
Those were so
they
bad.
did one of the Alfheim Sword Art games was open world, and it was crap. But as most of the Sword Art games were,
You
though,
see,
actually.
Lost Song wasn't too bad. It was just like you were area. It was an area open world.
Yeah, big
kind of
areas.
thing.
It's like open kind of thing. But
Although the sequel to that, I mean, going off on a tangent here, was
you got the right idea.
Sword Art Online versus Excel World, or Excel World versus Sword Art Online, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it crossed over with its future counterpart, Excel World.
Yeah, I really like Excel World too. I wish that show would have kept going. But
To,
oh well.
to finish up with mine, I just have faith that since One Piece has so much money, that it'll at least hopefully be decent.
Yeah. Well, it's like my thing whenever a new Gundam game comes out. It's like they've never made a Gundam game to really give it justice. Like, there's some good Gundam out there, but for the most part, it's all just either arena fighters or god-awful Breaker. Because the new Gundam Breaker was so bad, and it just makes me so sad.
What about
bad.
the SD games? Aren't those like tactics based or something?
Yeah, like some there's some fun ones, like the G Generation one. Like, they're good, but
I
don't-
bought that, by the way, if you
Really?
ever want to play it.
Nice.
I do
Yes,
believe so,
I do
yeah.
desperately please. I've yet to play a truly good, like, correct scale, kind of like epic, like, military Gundam shooter multiplayer kind of thing. It's like, I think like a One Piece MMO would probably do really, really well also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, amazingly.
Like there's so much world there for you to get into.
It can't be any worse than another pirate MMO.
Look, it's early access, all right? It's getting there. If you're talking about Atlas.
Is it?
Well, I
Is
mean-
it though?
Ark's really good. Okay, like
Okay.
Ark right now where it is a super fun game with a lot to do. It just took them a while, but then again, it was in early access. People blowing up over Atlas, not working when it's in early access, are frankly rather dumb. I mean, like, it is one of the worst early access games I've ever played, but the whole point of early access is it's supposed to be broken.
Yeah.
Like, that is the point. If it was not early access, that means it would be feature complete, like Fallout 76, and just be a bad game.
Yes, I agree.
Fair enough.
Not
Okay.
that I've played it actually, so I
Like,
mean,
oh, it's a mess. I played it. It's a mess. But I
Yeah.
bought it now while it's cheap, because eventually, when it's good, like
It'll
2 years
be
from now.
$60.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's $60, I'll have
yeah.
it.
Now on to Matt's next list.
It is me? Oh, good.
Because you just went with me, of course you're
Yes.
next.
Okay, so my next one is Code Vein. Back in Souls territory. Here we go. So Code Vein, if you don't know, is another Souls type game, but with a anime vampire kind of mix to it. So it has a sort of like, I just watched a show called Sirius the Jaeger. It's on Netflix right now. Decent show where it's World War II time period, but these international people go around and hunt vampires, and one of them happens to be a werewolf. But it looks like that, where you're hunting vampires, and it has this really kind of cliche anime look where you have your main character and you have an assistant who happens to be this adorable little Russian girl with a rifle.
My goodness, the colors
Like, she has
are
like the little
pretty, though.
fluffy hat and the glowy red eyes, and she's like, "Come on, Oni-chan," kind of thing. And it's like, yeah. I love Souls type games. Like I've loved Souls and Bloodborne and Neo and all this kind of stuff. So, and I'm also a big anime nerd. So it's just like, cool. I liked Vampire Hunter D, and I liked all of the vampire things. I'll go give it a try. It was supposed to be out this year, but they delayed it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it is definitely coming out sometime in 2019 still.
It was on my secondary list, by the way.
Yes, I'm not surprised. But it does look super, super cool, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm not sure. Did they say it's going to be co-op in that one, Andy?
I don't know.
Okay. I mean,
It
it looks
reminds
cool.
me a lot of God Eater, honestly.
Yeah, well, it's from the team that made it.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Which is cool. God Eater was a lot of fun.
Which was
Ta-da,
also on my
sandwich.
secondary list.
Awesome. Cool. Go on, Britt.
Okay, so I could also not. I mean, how could I not put this on the list? The Medieval remaster. Enough said. It looks amazing. And on Halloween, Sony actually dropped another trailer, or the trailer.
It does look really good.
and it looks amazing. I was in tears. You know how much I love that game. I've talked about it many, many times. And oh my god, from the ground up, and it looks so beautiful.
They give it the
I
Spyro treatment,
cannot
pretty
wait.
much.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
definitely do.
It looks stunning. So yeah,
I'm really sad.
That's it.
Because a couple reasons. One, I didn't have a PS1 growing up. I was a 64 kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a PS1 specifically to play the Final Fantasy series. And then I went from Xenogears and stuff like that.
Why not Ape Escape?
It just wasn't my thing at that point. At that point, I was like, more RPGs, feed me.
I can understand
And
that.
PS1 was the place for RPGs where
Yes, it was.
64 was not.
No.
At all.
Oh, come on, man. Mega Man Legends. I'm just kidding.
Mega Man was good. It was Mega Man with Zelda, pretty
Yeah.
much. But what are you doing?
where are your? My phone is at 2%.
You're going
Oh.
to take a picture of your
So
list?
yeah,
There.
thank
Take a
you.
picture, Mo.
There's
But where were we?
Oh,
yeah.
do you want a paper? I've got.
No, it's
paper.
okay. This will
Paper.
work.
But
A
also,
paper.
Nintendo isn't doing what Sony's doing with their old stuff. Like they've done Wind Waker, but we haven't gotten any really good like from the ground reworks of like Mario 64 or Mischief Makers or
Well,
they did.
They did Mario 64 for 3DS.
Thank you.
No, the
2DS.
original DS.
The original
DS.
DS.
Yeah.
My bad.
I want like a from the ground up, like make it nice and HD and like why can't I play Ocarina of Time on my Switch yet? Darn it!
Oh yes.
I know you were gripping about the other day,
I
but
was-
really, why can't
oh my
I
God.
do that?
I have been complaining about that for like a week. I have wanted to play. I feel I'm in the mood for. I mean, who isn't always in the mood for Zelda? But I'm really in the mood for Zelda. And I'm like, I really want to play Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. Can I download those on my Switch yet? He's like,
No.
no. I'm like, can I do it now? He's like, no.
It's like
I have a
that's
spare
last-
3DS and
Nintendo,
both of those
please.
remasters.
I do as well. I own all the Zelda
Right.
systems.
With me, you're fine.
Don't. You're gonna get me on the Nintendo hate train. Don't do it.
No,
Okay, next.
stop!
Anyway,
Go.
All right. Well, she said remaster. You know where I'm going now. The Tales of Vesperia remaster.
Knew it was on there somewhere.
I actually forgot to add it to my list because it's coming out in like
It's like
It's
3
soon,
weeks, isn't it?
right?
or
yes,
something?
within the next
Next
3
month?
weeks, so I forgot about it. I was like, oh, I've already got that game ready to go.
Yeah, I'll be getting it too. I'm looking forward to it because it's the complete version of it also.
Yes,
which is
so
nice.
am I. I've been waiting for this for how many years now?
Isn't that like your
10?
favorite game ever?
Yes, actually, my favorite game ever, and I forgot to put it on my list.
What are you gonna do if the additional
No.
content ruins the game?
It won't.
I mean,
It's
I
gonna be
guess
really
I'll cry. Well, my second favorite game ever made me cry.
What was that?
Final Fantasy 15.
15 was
Second
a good one.
favorite game? That
Man,
game's good, but damn.
That's strong. Yeah. That's strong.
Like it's really good, but
It is
like
really
it does
good.
not deserve the hate it gets, even though they canceled all the DLC and fired the director. But still,
I try to ignore that part.
We argued so hard. Do you remember when we argued about that ending so hard?
yes, because
I
it was
think
a
we even
happy ending.
I think we even did it on the podcast.
Happy ending, right?
Happy ending.
Yes.
and I'd have no idea because I stopped Final Fantasy after 9. I gave up because they kept on doing the same crap.
If you're happy with
Mine
your
was
country
good. It
being in
just had a random-
shambles,
Doesn't matter. They're in heaven.
All right, fine. I'll rescind it. It's not my second favorite game ever, okay?
no,
That's
it's a
fine.
really great game.
Yeah.
If it's your second favorite game, that's awesome.
You own it.
It's fantastic.
I never really try to rank my games.
I don't,
One
I
and
don't
two
rank
slots
mine.
are
I
kind of
dig
like
it.
honorary
It's like just have like
things.
a
Yeah.
lump of like favorite games.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
otherwise it would just be
Yeah.
a giant conglomeration of giant robots.
Like I can throw Mischief Makers
Actually,
on the
tiny
top
robots
easily,
too. I really like Custom Robo.
Yes.
Yeah, Nintendo. Yeah.
Bring it back.
It's definitely not going to be in Smash because there's 2 Custom Robo spirits in it already. Yeah.
Didn't it used to be an assist trophy too?
Yep.
Is it an assist trophy anymore? No. Wow.
I mean, it could happen. I doubt
I
it.
thought it was still an assist trophy.
I'd
That's
burst
trash.
if it did. It's like no one cares about Ray.
Yeah.
Oh well. What you got, Aaron?
Okay, the last 2 are sort of just what I threw in there because I'm looking forward to them, but it's not something that I'm excited as y'all are excited for y'all's list. Guess Luigi's Mansion 3 would be one of them.
Yeah.
It's coming to the Switch. I think it was already released on 3DS this year, but it's coming to the Switch in 2019. And I'm really
It
appreciative
was a
of-
remaster.
It was the
for
It was a
Remastered
remaster.
the
This
first
is actually a
Remastered.
sequel.
Oh, this is okay. They're only coming on 2019. Yeah, but I'm very interested in that just because of the fact that I always love Luigi's Mansion and that music can always get stuck in your head.
Oh yeah.
Da, 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 da.
It's one of the best songs I've ever done.
Oh yes, and then just because it was just so unique and so individualistic for the Mario series. Besides Paper Mario, but we're not gonna get into how Nintendo ruined that.
Whap whap sticker star. Cool. I will roll then. I'm going to skip this, Andy, because I bet money it's on your list. So let's talk more robots, kids. Let's talk Mech Warrior 5. Coming out in September 10th of this year, allegedly. They delayed it a full year. So
This year?
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Or next year, technically.
Yeah.
Next year, like this year in a couple hours or in a couple minutes, whatever. Anyways, Happy New Year. So it's Mech Warrior. I mean, it hasn't changed much over the past decade, but you build robots, you go out and you blow robots up. It's going to there's no PvP, which kind of sucks, but is going to have co-op through the whole campaign and a horde mode and stuff. And it's just giant robots and it's on PC, so it's going to look freaking awesome. It might work with the Oculus Rift. It's just take my money. Take my money.
That'd be cool.
They're talking about having, systems with the beams where you can actually see the armor melting and distending and everything. It's
that
like,
sounds
It's
amazing.
like, I'm good. I'm a happy man. But we'll move on because I know we're getting late. Go.
Okay.
Oh,
You
crap.
have my list.
Because Brit's phone has died.
This is why you should use Andy's paper. He offered it.
Right?
He offered a paper to you.
So, I have no idea what's going on with this game, or if anybody knows what's going on with this game, but it did say 2019, Babylon's Fall.
Oh, the Platinum game.
Yes.
That no one knows anything about,
I
really.
mean, I'm sold. Look, it takes place in the year,
at
like,
the Squeenix conference?
it takes, I don't know.
Yeah, it was like a random trailer with, like, statues. You never actually saw any game, though.
It's supposed to take place in the year 5054. There's knights. Platinum Games did what? Bayonetta and...
Bayonetta, the Vanquish, the guy with the butt thrusters.
Oh, and Nier.
Yeah, they did Nier.
So I'm totally sold. The art
Platinum's
looks cool.
known for their awesome combat.
Absolutely.
Didn't they
So
also
I'm,
do some other things?
I'm sure.
Like Star Fox Zero? I think that was them.
Yeah, but that was
Don't worry, I said that quietly.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, I don't think much is known about that game. Just very, very little in the pictures.
It's Platinum, so
that they put up. But
yeah.
I do have faith because it's Platinum, so I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, making
that sounds really
their
cool.
own games and not having Nintendo tell them, well, we want this and we want more gimmicks and crap, more motion controls that people aren't going to want to use. I don't have any hate towards that game at all. Can you tell? Sorry, but when Peppy tells me to turn the motion controls on 10 times the first level, I turn it off and walk away.
Okay, I can understand.
I go play Star Fox 64. Like, why do I buy our Star Fox game? Because it was terrible, Nintendo. Make F-Zero. You're never going to.
It wasn't that bad. Okay, moving on.
Okay, Andy, go.
Oh, it's my turn again. I've gone out of order on my list. You said you were skipping one because you think it's on mine. Is it Fire Emblem?
It is.
I knew it.
All right, so we're gonna do that one now. Fire Emblem Three Houses looks like it's gonna change up the game because you're a teacher now. I think.
Yeah. New waifu possibilities.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and there are shapes involved now.
And well, you have the you actually move with squads of people,
Yes.
not just yourself, which looks
Well,
cool.
apparently, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
Judging
still
by the
the
trailer.
main unit that's gonna matter, but
Yeah.
you know,
It just looks cool.
now it looks like you're an army.
Yeah. They just stand there and like clap for you, like Smash style, like.
Roy.
Crom's our mom.
Crom's our mom.
Has anyone gotten the Crom chant? We don't know what it is. We're assuming it's Crom's our mom because nothing else really matters. But like, really, have you heard
Because
it?
Roy is our boy.
Yeah.
So Crom must be our mom.
Truly, this logic cannot be disputed. Write it down in the book
Crom
of
is
things.
Lucina's mom. So
There you go.
Crom's her mom. That's it. But it only works when you're playing against Lucina. Very specific kind of crowd thinks she's in the audience. Like,
that's why we haven't heard it yet. None of you play Lucina.
there you go. That's true.
There we go.
Well, because I've played Marth. I don't need to. Yeah. Cool. Moving along, senor.
Okay, so mine is, like I said, just one we threw on there, but it hits home to childhood. Yoshi's Crafted World. I'm very interested in the fact that I grew up playing Yoshi's Island on the SNES and Yoshi's Story on the N64, and it was a very good platformer overall. And Crafted World, they're giving it basically Paper Mario treatment, but I mean, you can't really say it's going to be awful. It's probably going to be at least a decent
Well,
game.
it'll be fun regardless. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of done of the Nintendo crochet relationship they've been having
Yes, yes.
with like Kirby's Epic Yarn and the Yoshi's
Two
Woolly World.
Yoshi's Woolly World
Yeah.
games.
And
I don't see the problem.
Let's be honest. What they really
Like
need to go back
Mario's
to is
macrame
just
sofa.
make Paper Mario an RPG again, and everyone will be happy.
A good RPG again.
Good. Oh no! Super
give
Mario.
it to Square.
No, because I don't think they. Oh, Sticker Star was technically an RPG. We'll ignore all those. Yeah,
There's RPG elements.
yeah, ones that are actual RPGs.
Yeah, it's very loose now, where it's like, it's like Assassin's Creed's technically part RPG now too, because you have gear. So
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, the Mario and Luigi one is pretty popular.
the
Isn't
Bowser.
that like the Bowser's
Yeah, Mario and
Inside
Luigi were
Story?
okay.
And gosh, there's more than one. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
there's
what the
Bowser's
other
Inside Story, and then there's the one where Luigi passes
Okay,
out.
that's entirely different. Those
Dream
are like
Team.
those are the
Yeah,
Mario and Luigi
Yeah, there you
RPG.
go, there
Those
you
are the
He's talking about the Paper Mario RPG.
Yeah.
So Mario and Luigi
Which is-
RPG sagas are supposed to be entirely different. Paper Mario has its own
But there was
design.
there
Paper
was
Mario
the
is where Mario
crossover one.
RPG went.
Yeah,
pretty
the
much.
crossover one was. I played it. It was okay.
Eh,
What's its name again?
Paper Jam, I think.
That's it.
under the door, just jam it. But cool. No, I can see that. I hope it's really good. I'm expecting it to just be
Yoshi.
Okay.
yeah, pretty much
Yeah.
more Yoshi. But I've got okay. Here we go. Anthem. I mean, I don't care if it's EA. Okay, it's Destiny with power armor. I have to play this game.
Oh God,
okay?
no.
Like you can be power armor with like laser cannons and fly and blow up giant kaiju. They're getting my money.
But
Sounds
you
amazing.
have to pay $30 per power armor.
They
and,
probably
like-
get my money. Like, thank God they never release a Gachapon Gundam game over here, because I would be one of those despicable human beings who'd be like, okay, well there goes my food, no problem. I mean, gotta have that.
It's how
that
I lost
Dendrobium.
weight.
More waifus.
Yeah. Don't have that problem.
I've seen gameplay from the beta now, and I've seen tons of footage. It looks really good, and at least at this point, every single microtransaction there'll be not loot boxes and literally only like visual stuff for
So
your
all
armor.
cosmetics.
And I'm fine with that. Like,
Yeah.
You
No, that's
start with
fine.
2 colors in the game. You have to buy all
well,
the other ones
there's a decent bit
individually.
of color still too, but like some of like the more like ridiculous stuff, which is cool. But like all the guns, and then the guns, it's going to be less Destiny and more Diablo, where there are legit stats to everything now. And I played the heck out of Destiny.
Instead
We
of
talked on the
like
show
2
before.
numbers.
Exactly. Yeah, just let's dump it down as much as possible. And Destiny's great, but you can't really do very many builds. Like I don't know if Anthem's gonna have it, but I love sets in Diablo. I love the crazy crap you can do by
Yes.
mixing and matching sets. It looks like Anthem's going more in that direction, where you can just theory craft the heck out of it and do some crazy stuff with the 4 different types of suits. Because there's the standard suit, there's like the fast on the ground suit, there's a warlock caster suit, and
big
then there's
tanky
the one that I'm gonna play as, the big guy with the rocket launcher. And then there's different like sub classes you can take them in, obviously, from there. Like there's just a flame version of the big Hulk thing, which is gonna be great, but it's gonna have to try really hard to make me not like it, because it's sorry, go on.
No.
It's a co-op looter shooter with robots. I'm good. I'm
If my
happy.
computer's ever not a potato, I'll play.
Yep, there we go. We'll
My
work on
computer's not a potato, so you already have someone.
it, 'cause it's gonna be great.
And I was also going to say I have high hopes because with EA they're not immune to controversy or criticism, and so hopefully they've learned from the Star Wars Battlefront 2 fiasco.
And the
And then-
the Battlefield. I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Battlefield,
Yeah.
and they'll improve upon
Yeah.
their tactics.
Exactly. Because I
Their
mentioned in the
ways.
last show that Battlefield, as a game, is a good game. It just was riddled by issues because of all the crap that EA caused on it. Like, the game as itself is a good game and should be given a try because it's a solid game.
Yeah, you like that one a lot.
It's just, businessmen should not be involved in game PR, and it always causes issues. With the microtransactions, the DLC, the marketing. Like, just let the guys who make the games do this, and just shut up and go in your tower and just pay them, and they'll make you money. And just leave it alone.
Go count things. We got
Exactly.
this.
Go Scrooge McDuck it up. Just go. But yeah, Anthem, February 22nd. Looking forward to it. Booyah. I will bring up Brit's list because I keep forgetting about it. I'm trying, like, you keep looking at mine.
I do not.
Wait. Y'all are
Okay.
going way too many because I've already done all 4 of mine.
Well, I didn't say I was going to only have 4.
Eh,
Oh,
I said
okay.
minimum 4
Yeah.
whenever I told you.
Oh, okay.
that's okay. We'll blast
Yeah, you
through
can
the others.
just comment.
Don't
go,
worry, you can say.
And that's after like Andy cut
Sure.
2 of mine already.
Okay, so the next one I have on my list is Control.
Don't worry, I
my
have plenty on my
goodness.
secondary.
We don't
list.
know a
That
whole lot about
game.
this yet, but it looks
Yeah,
cool.
it looks amazing. Well, we watched a trailer for it,
Yeah.
which looked like a new trailer today, and it looked really cool. All I know is telekinesis. It looks futuristic. It looks amazing. So I don't know. I hope it's actually 2019. Who knows if it's going to be pushed back or not.
Looks kind of like, if you haven't, have you seen the trailers for this yet?
Control.
Is that the one with the girl?
Yeah. Yeah,
I saw the E3
kind
trailer.
of third-person shooter with Lovecraftian telekinesis and alternate dimensions.
I've heard about it and I've seen it, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, Brittany would love this. So I
Yep.
guess I was right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we watched it. I'm like, hey,
That's
Lovecraftian. Oh,
there's
Brittany.
like a mysterious bureau of control that's like warning
Yeah.
this skyscraper is infected with multiple dimensions. It's all gonna, like, every floor is different and
God.
creepy, and yeah, looks really cool. I will agree.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we don't know much about it,
Moving
but
on.
sometime
Are we
2019.
moving on?
But yeah,
Sorry.
knock it out.
Not to interrupt. I was just asking.
No,
you
you're
got
fine.
quiet for a second. All right. Devil May Cry 5.
that was on my list.
Yes.
Oh, you said your list was all obscure titles, and you throw Devil May Cry 5
Yeah, that
on there.
obscure game with this debonair guy named Dante. You may have heard of it.
Then that other
No,
dude,
never.
Not all, but I actually didn't think
Dante's
anybody
Inferno?
else here would have.
Same character, right?
I didn't put it on there because I knew you were going to put it on
Yeah, I didn't think anybody else here besides Matt would actually have that on their list.
Listen, dude, he's got a robot arm now, so.
there. Yeah, well, I mean, my Nero is in it, and Nero will always be better than Dante. I don't care what anybody says, just because he had so many more combat options.
Schmiro.
He's voiced
really
by
like
the
him.
man who voices everything, though.
Everybody, yeah.
Mr. Johnny himself.
But yes, I am very much looking forward to that
Yep.
too. I played the heck out of Devil May Cry when I was a kid. I love
So last
Devil
week.
May Cry. Shut your mouth. It's
Okay,
really good.
Shaft.
So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to that one too. That looks amazing. And Dante will always
Crazy
be my
old
number
man
one.
Dante. Now, have you seen him in the
Even
videos
if
where
you
he's
look like a crazy old man, it's fine. You have my
He
heart.
looks like your scumbag uncle or something.
It's like, oh, it's Uncle Dante. Hide the booze. Don't hide the motorcycle. He's going to cut it in half and use it as a sword. But sweet. Devil May Cry. Andy. Oh, that was you.
Yes,
I thought
that was
it was
me.
Brit. I'm sorry.
She just did all the talking.
So
That's all.
you're dry now, right?
No, he gave me one. I guess I'll go and throw it out there. Jump Force.
Really?
He wanted to throw it out
That
there.
game looks terrifying.
The art style looks
Yeah.
terrifying, but the fact is, it's the biggest anime crossover fighting game. Period.
Yeah, the Jump series has always been, because there's a couple on handheld I play that are pretty crazy.
Yeah, but I think this is the only one on console.
It is just those graphics. Like, I'm gonna play it, but good God.
Well, just ignore the graphics. Just put on like your little like blinders that only see like mechas, and you'll be
I
fine.
should just take off my glasses and just see the blurs go
yeah,
around.
yeah,
everywhere. I'm
exactly.
like,
You can just
cool.
imagine they're all mechas.
As your opponent chooses Yukimoto from Yu-Gi-Oh.
We're gonna ignore that one was added.
I'm not.
I mean, it sounds fun, but
It's like, where's
just
my,
what
give me a
moveset?
Gundam. Just put a Gundam in there, please. I know it's not from
Any
Shonen
type
Jump,
of
and I don't
mecha
care.
from a Jump series?
Please?
Is there any mecha from a Jump series?
I mean, a
Frankie,
couple androids from Dragon Ball.
I'm sure one of them might be in there.
just
I can guarantee you one of them will be in there probably.
yeah.
I hope Frankie's in there.
I'm gonna play it. It just the visual style really bothers me a
Ryuk.
lot.
I'm just excited about that.
No, it looks terrifying though.
Yeah. It's just like Goku and Luffy do not work. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's that kind of thing where like they don't look right.
Know that you're not wrong.
No, you're definitely not right.
It scares me. So I have two more then.
You can
I've
fix
got-
that with skins.
We'll keep the
I think
just
I have two
human skins.
no!
Yes,
Wrap it around your
those.
television. Anyways,
You know, I honestly thought you were talking about the characters wearing human skin.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Goku like a caveman with a stick.
It's creepy.
It's like this guy's skin is very rubbery. I wonder why. The Division 2. I like looter shooters and co-op stuff like that. Division when it came out was a mess, but ended up. Hold on. It ended up being super good, and there's so much content, and they've updated it for years. Very much like Anthem, same thing, where you make a squad, you get different guns, you can have amazing sets of awesome weapons and everything like that. Super cool game, really cool PvE, PvP mode. Have you played, either one of y'all played this before? Cool.
Nope.
That's what I thought. There is a dark zone where you go into where it's the area most infected by this virus that wiped out all of New York City.
I am familiar with it though.
Yeah.
I've not played it.
So awesome. Like, it's super awesome. I'm
I'm
familiar
not
with-
even familiar with it.
Okay. Well, this on Black Friday, someone inserted a virus into the money, so most of the city's dead, and it's all of New York is quarantined off.
Sounds like something someone would do
So you go in
on Black Friday.
exactly as part of this government agency to like help clean things up because the city's been broken off into like Mad Max kind of like gang warfare, and in the center where the virus is worth, it's called the Dark Zone, where it's lawless, and you can go in there, and there are super powerful enemies and super awesome gear. But other players can also kill you and take the gear. So you have to kill the enemies, and then you can't just walk out. You have to extract the gear because it's infected. So it's a risk-reward thing where you get really cool stuff, and should you get more, or should you extract it? And if you extract it, everyone knows you're extracting, so you might get murdered while you're extracting. It's this really cool, like, oh crap kind of thing.
I feel like it's one of those things where you definitely have to have other people to play with.
Yep.
Because you get ganged up on.
Yep.
They see you and they're like, go for that guy, take all his stuff.
It's one of those games where if you're by yourself, it's meh, but with a group, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Here you go, kid.
Okay, so next on my list. Oh wow, because Oh, no. Okay, I have 2 more. I was
I know
like,
you have one more because
yeah.
that one creepy one.
Yeah. Okay. So, because horror, and I love horror, and I love Until Dawn.
Horror.
Horror. The Dark Pictures anthology.
Yeah, so the guys who did from Until Dawn
Dawn
is doing almost like a Tales from the Crypt game series where they're doing smaller games. Like, have you played Until Dawn?
It's almost
Yes.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah.
She tried to make me play it. She said,
I don't play
my
No
God.
anime characters in it. You're not gonna play.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't like, because he's crazy.
Yeah,
He
No,
doesn't
no.
like horror.
Until Dawn, I was forced to play for a little bit. I did not like it.
Oh,
I don't like
God.
suspenseful things. Okay, I'm very influenced by music. This is why I can't watch horror movies or play horror games, and I will my anxiety will act up for it, and it's just a bad idea. No.
I think that there are a few horror
And
things
nightmares.
that people have told me are horror, and I'm like, no, it's not. I just don't remember what they are right now.
It's like Harvest Moon.
Well, as everybody
Radishes.
knows,
radishes everywhere.
as everybody knows, I love horror,
Yeah,
and
you do
I
have a problem.
love Until Dawn. So I was super. It's almost like it looks like you're playing a series of vignettes.
It's like a pick your own adventure horror movie, pretty much.
which sounds amazing,
Yeah.
and
exactly.
I cannot wait. So yeah, that sounds really cool. So
Goosebumps,
hopefully-
a Telltale series.
Hopefully that's soon, and I don't have to wait.
Oh no, Telltale,
Aw,
too
sad face.
soon.
I know.
I would play that though.
Never coming out.
But yeah,
Wow.
hopefully I don't have to wait until like November of 2019. To play
Yeah,
that.
probably it's probably like a Halloween release.
Right. No.
So you only have to wait till October, 1 month sooner.
It was Deathmark. You told me Deathmark was a horror game. I was like, no. Yeah, sure.
Deathmark is amazing. It's good. It is a horror game though.
I don't believe you.
Well, I mean, it's
I
got
can't play horror games, so it's not a horror game.
I was very surprised you bought it actually. I did not.
I mean, it's a visual novel, so it can't really be that scary.
Yeah.
It's like there was an evil
no.
pussy monster traveling towards me and asked for a tic tac. I don't know.
I mean, I'm the wrong person to ask because I don't think anything is scary. But
Except for
it's actually not
I
that
am.
scary.
Yeah, except for bugs
Baby.
Yeah,
I
that's-
think
I mean, like,
everything
movies
is
and
terrifying.
and arthropods.
One of these days, listeners, I have to tell you the wonderful story of Brit calling me on the phone because there was a roach and she wouldn't get off of her bed, so I had to go over and save her from this bug that was it's big. And then this poor thing looked terrified. It's like, there's this crazy lady screaming and crying and throwing socks at me. That was great. Anyways, sorry.
Moving on.
And
No, it's yours, Matt.
what's mine?
I think
Does,
unless Andrew has more.
Are you done?
Are you done?
Animal Crossing have a 2019
Yes!
release date? All right, Animal Crossing. Is on
Hey!
my
I
list.
had that on mine
More
too.
Beatles-owned fishing. All right, last one I have is
exciting.
it's not even coming out in this country. Super Robot Wars T.
I don't think it matters that it's not coming out.
Well,
in this
it's gotta
country.
have an
I can
English Asian
still
release.
Buy it.
Yep. So Super Robot Wars is a essentially strategy RPG like Disgaea or Final Fantasy Tactics.
No wonder why he would play it.
Yep, but comprised of famous mecha, so Gundam, Gurren Lagann, Patlabor, Votomes, Gunsword now is going to be
It's
in
so
it.
you.
Leopardon, like just all of like the famous
Haven't there
like
been
Get a
some
Robo and
Ava characters as well?
oh yeah, Ava's been in it. Of Fafner's been in it before. Just pretty much everyone you can think of. Mazinger Z has clearly obviously been in like all of them, but that's getting an English release, but it's like for the Chinese market, but it's going to have English subtitles.
Yeah.
So I'm buying the crap out of that when it comes out. But they obviously could never come over here because the licensing issues would be a disaster. Like
Terrible.
Macross alone would just never work because of Harmony Gold and their just like tyrannical hold over Robotech. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm going to be quite all over that when it comes out. I think later in the spring sometime, but it'll take a while to get over here anyway. So
Okay.
that's fine. What you got, Britt?
Okay.
I'm done now. So
Yay! So I have one left since Andy said Devil May Cry 5.
yeah.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Eh.
I think I'm gonna try it.
There's a Star Wars game coming out.
Well, they
Yes.
mentioned it that we have no idea what it is,
Yes.
like at all.
All we know is that it does take place between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope.
Is this one being made by Remedy or is this something else?
I don't remember.
Okay. Like
I'm
the studio
gonna be
behind
real, I
it
don't
is
remember.
good, but I just don't know anything about it.
But so I'm not really a fan of the prequel trilogy. We've talked about this a lot too.
Still
Though,
better than episode 8.
are you really gonna say that?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'm
I
flabbergasted.
will watch episode 3 over 8.
What about 2?
Okay.
I'd rather not watch either, to be honest with you, but
I'm,
about two?
I'm
Would you
honestly
watch
two is pretty
flabbergasted.
bad, but
I am flabbergasted. Like I get it.
like 2, hang on a second. Like 2, if you cut like 40 minutes out of 2, it wouldn't be that bad. 2 is kind of like Battlestar Galactica, where it's a great series, but it's about a season too long. Or just too much.
Fair enough.
It's like One Piece or like Dragon Ball Z. We'll talk about this. If Dragon Ball Z ended at the Cell Saga,
Where it
would
did
be-
originally.
Yeah, it'd be perfect. And they just kept freaking going. Sorry, go on. My bad.
No, you're fine. But yeah, I really like Stories in Between. I loved Shadows of the Empire. That was an excellent book. If you haven't read it, please read it. It is so good.
Or play the game. The game does a decent job telling the story also.
Yeah, and that takes place between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So you kind of figure out, like, between when you watch those two movies,
They're coming for us.
it's like
Sorry,
Run.
sirens.
Return of the Jedi is like Luke is suddenly magical, and you're like, what the heck is going on? He's so cool. So
wearing
Shadows
black.
of the Empire.
He's edgy.
Shadows of the Empire, I think, kind of bridges that gap
Hedgehog.
Yeah.
and gives you a little bit of, okay, this is what happened, and this is how
And it gives you
he
Dash
kind
Rendar.
of transformed.
And Dash Rendar was freaking awesome. He was Han Solo with a transforming ship.
Of course, see, of course. But yeah, so I like Stories in Between like that kind of bridge gaps. Even though I wasn't a huge prequel.
It was not handled well at all. Not at all. I'm not saying it was good. I'm saying it was crap. I'm just saying I think it was less crap than, the alternative.
I mean, let's be real. Nothing will ever be 4, 5, and 6. It's true. I mean, they were in the right direction with 7,
Yeah, they were in a great direction with 7.
but
And
then
then they
8.
lost their freaking minds. But whatever.
8
I'm just
happened.
really meh on any Star
Yeah,
Wars.
maybe
game.
JJ will save us with episode 9. I don't know, but maybe. More lens flare, Captain. Go.
see.
All the lens flare. It's like he ruined Star Trek. Just all the lens flare
I don't want to talk about
and all the
Star
pseudoscience that wasn't
Trek.
even pseudoscience.
I
sorry,
love
sorry.
Star Trek.
I just go.
and I do not. I'm.
I got a really big issue in the first Star Trek remake where they like do an orbital jump and they pass through the atmosphere without any kind of like, heat death or anything.
Any type like
Like just regular space suits.
Nonchalantly
Nothing. Like
pass
there's
through
not
the
even any
atmosphere.
show of it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
funny. Where's all the friction?
they just
I remember you
nonchalantly.
going on and on and on
just
about
whistle.
that.
Like it's just dumb. Like you could have been a cool thing. Like we have these cool like Starfleet heat shield waffle cannons or something.
And didn't the ship, when the ship was entering the atmosphere, catch fire?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
It's freaking stupid.
Absolutely.
It's like I get that Star Trek is all about fire graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish, but at least you have to explain why the stupid
I
works.
can't finish that sentence.
It's a great.
It's a great song. Definitely.
song.
Graviton particle beam off the main deflector dish. That's the way we do things, lads. We're making crap up as we wish. It's a Star Trek song. It's all
Yeah,
they do.
okay.
it's
It's just
fantastic.
random pseudoscience, and it's great. In the newer movies, it's more like, cool, you are now Die Hard.
Okay.
Man, I would kill for an excellent Star Trek game, though.
It exists. It's called Starfleet Command 1, 2, and 3 for PC. The manual was this thick.
Oh my.
PC.
Yeah, it was like actual like a ringed binder, because it was like a strategy game with ships, and you could command the individual systems and different weapon types, and there was like a couple dozen different ship variants for each race of like the 6 different races. It's a narrative by George Takei,
George Takei.
and then the third one actually had Patrick Stewart doing it. Also, it was great.
Oh, that's cool.
Star
What was the
Trek.
next on the list?
That's it.
That is
Oh, wow.
it.
Woo.
Okay.
We can talk about more robots, but
We can talk about more Fate.
also the crazy amount of games coming out between the end of January and the middle of March this following year.
They're doing the same thing that happened
Allegedly.
last year.
I don't remember that much last year. Like I remember God of War.
I feel like there was but the thing is that last year there's a crazy amount of games coming out this year, but there's like last year there was a bunch we knew were good.
Yeah. And they're just like because we haven't even mentioned the what the heck's it called? Right, the zombie game on PS4. Like that's coming out sometime in that mess.
Oh,
also.
Days Gone.
And then Resident Evil's coming out around the same time. Like there's a lot of like AAA games.
Yeah, absolutely. Days Gone actually looks really good. I'm gonna play
I'm
that.
still on the fence. Like I'll play it
I know you are, but it looks really good.
because it's a zombie game with the gimmick being look at all the zombies we have, and that's great. Like I like the horde of zombies, but I'm not as opposed to like even Kingdom Hearts 3, which I'm surprisingly I think I've lost my hype for it. I'm sure I'll play it, but
Well, it's been over a decade.
yeah, it's been some time.
I can give you a little bit of leeway there. Honestly, I
But
can.
yeah, but no, I think we're good.
Yes.
We're good.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much for being guests on the show.
Yeah, we're gonna
Thank
go
you
ahead
for
and get
digging me
out
out of that dumpster.
You're welcome. Don't worry, we'll toss you back when we're done.
No, exactly. That's where I belong. Come on.
And thank you so much, guys, for listening.
Mm-hmm.
It's always appreciated. And yes, Brett, we will watch Into the Spider-Verse.
Maybe.
I am excited for that.
I'll make them go.
As always, if you have any questions, comments, email address is what, Britt?
It is podcast at gameovervideogames.com. I had to think about it.
Podcast at
I say it all the time, and it's still it's podcast at gameovervideogames.com.
Glorious.
We like emails. Email us as long as it's nice.
I don't like emails. Stop it.
Yes, he does. He's
No, I
lying. He's lying.
But thank you very much. I am your
you.
host, Matt.
Brittany.
I was Andrew.
And it is.
I'm Aaron.
We will see you next time on Game Overcast. Good night.
Good night,
Have a
guys.
good
Happy
one.
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Robots.